provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Got the number one pick in the NHL draft, but the men that can't seem to stump. Do something dumb, that's an observation. CLT make them need to run.
That's Lawrence Taylor!
Cuddle, Mary, trash, CMT for short. Wonder if we best once you peep the score. Up at the crack of dawn, top stories of the morning. While you're yawning, grab your coffee, rise and shine with 8:80 a.m. This is Drop Time. We provide highlights from your favorite teams. Got Dave and Rick making plenty of picks. It's Rule 76.
All righty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 23rd day of December, Christmas Eve is what we like to call it. It is DNR here on ESPN New York, but you get the dynamic duo of Graca Raanan, D and J. No, it's still DNR, right?
GNR.
DNR, Dan and Raanan?
GNR.
GNR. DNR. It works.
GNR for DNR. I think that was your line.
Was it? I don't remember.
Yeah,
It was a long time ago. That was the summertime.
Yeah.
The old Mets were still playing baseball then.
Feels like forever ago. How many NFL losses have we endured over that time?
I'll tell you right now,
It's been a long year.
It's been a very long year. You ask and I will please
what
you,
do we
my
got?
friend.
The Jets are what? They're 3 and
25 losses?
Yeah, 3. Yes. So
25 losses.
5 and 25?
Do you believe that? Do you believe that? New York football this year, 5 and 25? How bad is that?
Do I believe it? Of course I believe it. The Giants are 5 and 27 over the last 2 seasons.
Is that good? No,
tell me.
Not good.
5 and 27.
No, that is not good. It's good to see you regardless, though.
You too.
I'm looking forward to
Happy
this morning.
holidays.
Same to you, my friend. And you're going to see a lot of Jordan, hear a lot of Jordan over the next week, right? For the most part. You're going to be here next week, too?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in for the long haul here.
Look at that.
Choo-choo.
Lot of Jordan.
Calling the left-hander.
Calling the lefty.
And the
Going to
Jew.
the bullpen. Well, for the holidays,
time.
right?
Yeah.
But you love it, and you're going to do a great job, and we're all going to be listening regardless. But it is DNR. Ray is here. RJ is here. And then some of us will pack it up for the holiday here, but you'll get a lot of Jordan moving forward. And we got a lot of things to talk about today, too, at 800-919-3776, as we always do. I'm going to start off with this today, okay? I think Jet fans and Niner fans can celebrate in unison this morning. So our good buddy RJ.
Wait, where's the connection?
Well, the connection is that the Niners won a game last night, so RJ's thrilled, right?
He was dancing around here.
RJ,
twirling. I think I saw ballet.
RJ, good morning, by the way.
Bark.
And how are you feeling this morning? Because I know that, that's a late night for RJ. We were texting back and forth. Was it past the midnight hour? Because RJ normally would be long asleep by then.
It was close. Good morning, by the way. Yeah,
Good morning.
It's a glorious way. We haven't punted since November.
It's amazing.
It's Christmas.
I know. Do you know it just clicked? The 49ers this season have as many wins as the Giants have in the last 3 seasons combined.
That's not something you want to celebrate.
Yeah, 3 seasons worth.
God,
and this is their down year. This is a down year for them, right? They got a bunch of injuries. I know, not really down. 11-4 is really good, but
yeah. Who's running that defense, by the way? That's missing its 2 best players.
Bob.
Yeah,
Bob Saleh.
Bob Saleh.
Isn't the West still in play? Like the Niners can still win that.
Niners
thing?
can win the NFC.
Oh my goodness!
yeah, they got a shot at Seattle, right?
Oh my goodness!
Don't they have a direct shot at Seattle?
They got the number 1 seed.
They play Week 18.
Yeah.
The Niners win out. That's all they got to do. They don't have to do any scoreboard watching. They win their last 2 games. They are the number 1 seed in the NFC. But the reason that Niner fans and Jet fans are at least celebrating in unison this morning, yes, the Niners won, but the Colts lost another game. The Colts lost another game. And look, a lot of things have not gone good for the Jets this year. I know I'm not breaking any news, but a couple of things that have gone really, really well. The trades with the Indianapolis Colts, Ray's Dallas Cowboys, both of those teams not going to make the playoffs, as we know. And do you know, since the trade was made with the Indianapolis Colts,
What's this?
the Jets have
Better
more
record.
wins than the Colts do. And the Colts probably aren't going to win another game the rest of the year. They're playing a quarterback who's older than you and I. And lo and behold, that pick is just going to keep looking better and better and better and better by the time draft day rolls around.
So let's see where the Jets going to pick, basically. Let's say 4.
Well, probably in the top 4, maybe top 3. We'll see.
Well,
They don't have good odds this week against New England, right?
It's the Browns, the Giants, and the Raiders are in the driver's seat for that, right?
Well, one of the Giants or Raiders are going to win Sunday.
Right.
So one of them will have 3.
The Poop Bowl.
Is that what they're calling it?
I don't know. I just call it.
Are they making shirts and hats and all that stuff? The Poop Bowl.
No.
How many people are going to be at that game? I know it's Vegas, but how many people are actually going to be at that game?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
What's Vegas like on Christmas week? It's New Year's is right on the corner, so maybe people are coming in for New Year's. You make a New Year's trip out of it. I don't know.
I was just in New Orleans Christmas week. That was pretty lively.
It could. That's what I'm saying. It could be a place that's super lively, and you're in town. You can go to the Jets Raiders game. Why not? What the heck?
Giants Raiders.
Giants.
Yeah.
I call it the Jets.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's okay. But somebody's going to win the game, right? Somebody's going to win a game, so they're going to have 3, and then they're going to get into that whole strength of schedule tiebreaker.
And the Jets
mix.
and the Giants are actually really close, if I remember correctly. They're like almost identical.
In terms of the strength of standings.
As of now, but the Giants play 2 bad games, so they're probably...
You're right. Jets are 539. Giants are 531. That is close.
And it's better to be worse.
Correct.
Because if you have a bad record and you have the lower strength of schedule, that means you're even worse than the other team who stinks too.
That's why right now the Jets, out of the 3-win teams, the Jets are picking 4th. The Browns are slotted at 3 because the Browns' strength of schedule is 492. That's sub 500. And they only have 3 wins to show for.
And who do the Jets have to finish out here? They have the Patriots and
the Bills.
Doesn't really matter. So, yeah, the Giants are going to have the lower strength of schedule.
Right.
So they'll still be behind the Giants.
Correct. Unless the Giants somehow, some way win a couple of games. Which, could they beat the Raiders this week?
Sure.
Can they beat a meaningless game against the Cowboys?
They were favored yesterday. I think it flipped, but I do believe they were favored.
Stand by.
No, I'm pretty sure it flipped in the Giants.
Vegas -1.5 as we speak now.
It was. It opened at Giants -3.
Really?
Yeah. Right? That's a big flop, isn't it?
What happened in a matter of a day to make the -3 to now you're +1.5?
People think the Giants stink, apparently. I don't know.
To have it flip 4.5 points? So, RJ,
it
thank
is a
you.
lot. I mean, 100%. I don't know what the heck that is.
RJ, thank you to your football team for, again, assisting the Jets in what they have to do to make that Colts pick as good as it possibly can. So, much appreciated for the holiday present.
I appreciate it. I was actually telling Ray the story before because I was telling my wife last night how much it means to me to have, how thankful I am to have Kyle Shanahan in my life. And she looked at me and she said, he's not in your life. He doesn't know who you are. And I said, but just the fact that he's there for me when I need him, it means so much.
Technically speaking, he's in your life.
I mean, I know he's in my life. I'm not a part of his life. Maybe one day our paths can cross. But I don't take it for granted in any way. I know they haven't won the Super Bowl recently, but how great it is to have a foundation like that in my life. It's a pillar of my life.
Did you send him
holiday
card?
Greetings?
Yeah. Because RJ, great guy that he is.
No, he's the best.
Come in here, sitting there is a nice holiday card with a gift card inside. I mean, come on, totally unnecessary.
He didn't have to do that, but that's RJ.
Total good guy move. Now, I'm thinking, is it just RJ, just a super good guy, which is where I'm leaning? Or I know if Dave were here, because they already started the other day, is that to make up for him not telling me that there was another kid coming and not having me in the loop?
Well, I wasn't in the loop either.
I think it was the former, not the latter. Like Dave, I think, would argue the other way around because he's the one who brought it up.
You want to stir the pot a little bit further?
What's
Do you want to? I'll stir the pot right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, why not? Isn't that what we're here to do?
RJ's incredibly good gesture. Mm-hmm. Incredibly good gesture. Does it really fall on his shoulders to, provide the gesture? What about the people who normally do the show? RJ?
In terms of for you guys or for us?
For
everyone.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying that the gifts should come from them.
Exactly.
Well, we also have to be fair. Is the money the real question is the money coming out of RJ's pocket?
Well, who else's pocket's coming out of?
Is it coming out of the company? Is it the show's
No,
pocket?
it ain't coming out of the company. I can promise you that. Is he serious?
So you think
I haven't been here long enough.
This is a real conversation
That's right,
right now.
exactly. I mean, come back to us.
So you? I mean, it's a very nominal.
I mean,
gift.
in the normal world, it wouldn't be a crazy question, but
So
apparently I didn't realize.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a small token of my appreciation. You guys have helped us out is a ton.
But RJ, don't you understand? Just being with you, being with Ray, that's all the gifts that we need.
But Jordan thinks I'm embezzling the company, which is troubling.
Not embezzling.
Or that somebody from the
That's
company.
not embezzling.
Or that somebody-
You say,
that's a
hey,
hell of a-
look, for the show's purpose, we're going to, give gift cards or appreciation
And
to
then
the
you
people who help us out throughout the year. What kind of makes sense if you ask me.
I'm trying to understand how one leaps to that type of conclusion. It goes from RJ's paying out of pocket to RJ's embezzling money to pay
I didn't say
you guys.
embezzling. That's Dan Grasso over here.
I never used the word. That was all you.
You
But I
said embezzling. I did not say that word.
RJ, did that come out of my mouth?
I think I said it.
Oh, he said it.
Oh, okay.
So it
Jordan,
wasn't.
so let's get this straight. The chaos this man has caused in the first 10 minutes. He strolls in here. His ID doesn't work. He's standing outside, and now he comes in with allegations that I'm expensing gifts to you guys. And it's only been 10 minutes.
Or that he thought that somebody from the company actually tapped RJ on the shoulder the other day and says, you know what, by the way, you know, it'd be a great, nice gesture. Why don't you go get gift cards for everybody, that works here or whatever. Here's a blank check. Why don't you just go out there and go crazy? That somebody put
You
that
think it would be? You think it's unheard of for a company to pay for gifts?
No, I don't think it's unheard of.
For people who contribute to the show or your business or your that's.
Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? No, I don't think it's unheard of for a company to do what you're insinuating. But it depends on the company. Let's put it that way. How's that? Fair?
Good job, me.
Talk about the ultimate misreading in the room here by me.
And by the way, RJ, you left out another detail, too, with our friend Jordan. You're also a little bit shorthanded when it comes to a fairly important piece of documentation.
You saying the book?
No, not the. Well, we'll get to the book
That
later.
I didn't bring a book.
No, what did
I
you
left
do?
it in the car right now. I have to go.
No,
get it.
not that. I'm talking about when you came in, you opened up your wallet and you started like you were dealing cards,
Oh.
like playing a card game.
Someone's out there with my license doing.
What
who knows
what happened to the license?
I have no idea.
He's licenseless.
Your life
You want to
is-
make this admission right now? I'll be waiting for you when you get in the
What
car.
were they waiting for him? I mean, where are they waiting?
So wait, don't you have, if you can't find your license, like X amount of time to go give proof of your license?
Yeah.
Because you could just naturally forget your license.
Yeah,
right?
you do. I mean,
I'm
that
sure the
doesn't
DMV
happen
is
often,
fully
but-
operational too on Christmas Eve, so you should have no problem getting an appointment tomorrow to get your license.
Let's be honest about something. Your life is in chaos right now.
Sounds
chaos.
like it.
So this is what happens late in the season. There's been times where the late in the season, it used to be commonplace where I would be walking around the airport garage unable to find my car. Like that was like a regular thing.
Really?
Yeah. Nowadays, it's it's a little easier. I have like a routine. I park in the same spot, but I would drive the wrong way on the New Jersey Turnpike. Multiple as the season wore down.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
you haven't caused an accident doing this. Driving the wrong way on the turnpike?
No, I mean
This man
that's-
does this without a license.
I think
by
Without
the
a
way.
license.
I think you guys are misinterpreting that. Like instead
Oh,
of
no,
going
you-
north, going south.
You go towards Philadelphia instead
So
of
this
New
was
York.
when I was living in Philadelphia,
Right.
but covering the Giants. So I would stay at my parents' where then I would go north, but then on the coming home, I'd have to go south. So I would basically sometimes just not be paying attention and need to go the wrong way.
Because you're so just locked in focused.
100%.
That
And I
you
mean,
don't even know where you're going.
and I couldn't even tell you how many times I stopped on the side of the road to write a story.
Really?
Yeah. Flashers, side of the road, turnpike. Open the computer, write a quick story.
You just get the idea right there.
So
It's got-
it
it's
has
gotta
No,
come out.
I mean, no, because something happens, Ray. This is a breaking news business. Come on.
But it has to be like a big story to warrant pulling over on the side of the road. Like if Cordell Flott has a sore toe, you're not pulling over to the side of the road and, sitting there and putting.
Cordell Flott's out for the season, and I mean that's
No knock on
you gotta-
Cordell Flott, by the way.
No,
but I'm
yeah,
just
but
saying,
you got to do what you got to do. I mean, it's a
So-
story. I can't wait 2 hours at the time when I'm driving from East Rutherford to Philadelphia. You got to pull. You got to do it.
So let's cover some ground here. Admissions of driving the wrong way on the turnpike,
Yeah.
losing your car, losing your license, your ID here not working, and accusing me of ripping off the company.
You're off
13 minutes into the show, baby.
You're off to a real good start today. How many more days of this do you have ahead of you? Oh my! This is only day. Save your good material for the next 2 weeks. Already, you got to spread the wealth.
Well, I mean, I think this is what happens when you wake up and there's a 3 on the clock.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's probably what it is.
I said to him when the alarm went off this morning, I didn't know A, what time it was, B, what day it was. I didn't know where I was.
That happens.
But that happens. But you got to get into the rhythm. You got to get into the routine, and we're going to be able to do that for you, of course. But, yeah, RJ, again, thank you for the victory last night. Thank you for the kind gesture and all those great things. And what do you make of the whole Phillip Rivers experiment? Obviously, it's going to fail. But
I was telling my wife about it because it's something that she knows literally zero about football.
Yeah,
they've never heard of Phillip Rivers in her life, and I was like, yeah, this guy he hasn't played in 5 years. He's 45 years old, and he came out. She's like, they can do that? Like, you're allowed to just, be on a roster tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah. I think they could call me up tomorrow and I could play. And so, I mean, he looked pretty good for a guy who has been on the couch for 5 years yet last night. Like, they put up 27 points.
It is incredible. I mean, it's
very impressive.
And
I thought it was going to be really bad, really, really bad. And it's been way exceeded my expectations.
And you know what's crazy? I was saying this to RJ this morning, too. Like, he doesn't throw, like, a pretty-looking ball, either. It's almost like he, like, pushes the ball.
Well, he
down
always
the field.
did that,
He
right?
always did
had
that,
that weird. But now he has no arm strength.
Nothing.
I mean, did you see him try to throw the 2 deep balls?
Oh.
I think it was the same play.
Old man.
Meanwhile, I'm older than him. But, yeah, like, he couldn't get the ball downfield like, you're like an NFL quarterback. But, I mean, the fact that he's doing what he's doing, I think is unbelievably impressive. Now, they've collapsed beyond belief. Lou Anarumo, who's, going to be interviewed for the Giants job, can we get a stop there? Not the greatest resume builder on national TV right there.
Hey.
The defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. Come on.
When you lose your starting quarterback, when you're hit hard with injuries and all that stuff, you're going to look to the defense and be like, hey, can you maybe shoulder the load a little bit and keep this team afloat? And unfortunately, they haven't been able to do that. And
where's Sauce?
Sauce on the sidelines. He's nursing that calf injury. Probably not going to see him the rest of the year. It's amazing to me that Indianapolis is still mathematically alive, losing 5 games in a row. And
they're done in my book.
Well, they're done. Of course they're done. But you know what's funny? Like, so many things have been kind of sewn up here as far as playoffs that we're heading into the final 2 weeks now, and we pretty much know the teams that are going to be in the playoffs, right? I mean, Houston's going to get one of those 2 spots in the AFC, and Pittsburgh is going to win the North. Okay, so there's your 7 teams in the AFC. On the NFC side of things, Detroit's going to be on the outside looking in, and probably Tampa Bay. So Carolina will win the South, and then Green Bay's going to get that last wild card, and then that is all it. So we're going into Week 18, and I mean, what could be our final, Sunday night game, final game of the year, winner take all or whatever? We even
well, you know
what
what it's going to be, right? It's obvious.
What, the Detroit?
No. San Francisco against Seattle. Right? RJ?
Unless there's a situation where it's a win
Still
and
there?
you're in.
Did he leave? He
No,
quit
he's
already?
there.
I forced him.
Because that's what the
Forced him to
NFL
go.
wants to do. If they have a win and you're in scenario, that's what they like to. I mean, it's not going to be a great game to watch, but Carolina plays Tampa Bay. So if that division is still up for grabs going into Week 18, you might get that.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners got to get by Chicago. That's a big one Sunday night. So looking like, I mean, we'll see.
It's possible they could be playing Monday night, Sunday night, and then another primetime game in Week 18.
By the way, you see
that'd be pretty cool.
You see the Monday night game for Week 17? Like, how did they not flex out of that? The Rams and the Falcons? The Falcons?
Not great.
No, not great. How do you have that one up? But yeah, as far as like winning you're in type things, it might be like the crummy NFC South. Who wins and who goes home?
It's probably tough for Week 17 because a lot of the games, we were going over it before, how many of the games are open to non-ticket customers? Like, you can watch how many of the games?
9.
Figure out? 9, 10, 9?
Yeah.
So you can, I mean, how many juicy games are left? That's probably, a lot of the games are post.
Excuse me, 10. You're
10.
right, 10.
Is
So-
Giants, Cowboys, Ray, is he going to be there? Sitting in the stands?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Probably
I
not.
think that ship is sailed.
January
right?
3rd?
Probably not at this point.
That's not one you want to go to.
It'll be the first time in quite a few years that I'll have not gone to a Cowboys game in MetLife. But I went to the Jet game, so there's
he
that.
did go to a game at MetLife. It just wasn't against the Giants.
Not a real fan?
Well, I mean, would you sit out there in that weather?
Bailing on your team?
Probably not going to be
because
great.
of the weather?
On January. Well, the game means nothing.
The Jet game was a rare, enjoyable Cowboys game this year, so whatever.
Beautiful day that day,
40
too.
degrees in January. Ray not going to go support his team.
40?
Giving up.
You sign up for 40.
I fried that day at the Meadowlands, man.
That was like 80
The
that
sun
day.
was killer that day.
It felt like summer. Remember it well. All right, 800-919-3776. We'll get into a lot of the football today, even though the Jets and the Giants playing for absolutely nothing. Jordan's got some insights here.
Is that true?
Potential. Yeah, they're playing for nothing.
No, what are you talking about? The Giants have a huge game, man.
Huge game. Jordan's going to be there tailgating, waiting for the doors to open because he's going to be covering it, from pillar to post coming up on Sunday in Vegas. But we'll get into all the football stuff. Jordan's got some insights here potentially on what direction the Giants go for a head coach. We'll talk about the baseball. Mets continuing to dismantle the core of a team that underachieved severely last year. We'll get into that. We've got the great Matt Miller talking a little NFL draft with him. And the Jets and the Giants are going to be featured prominently in this upcoming NFL draft. He joins us at 8:30. We've got CMT on this Tuesday. We got a whole gaggle of things. It's Graca and Raanan in for DNR right here on ESPN New York.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings during the More to Move You event. Lease a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $199 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN385912. MSRP $32,795. Zero security deposit ends 1/2/26.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
All right, DNR on this Tuesday. Dan and Jordan hanging out with you here on this Christmas Eve. 800-919-3776. That is the telephone number. Matt Miller going to join us a little bit later on, talk a little NFL draft. We have CMT, the stuff you missed, 3-star, everything that you normally come to expect.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you were just kind of telling me you went to New Orleans this week.
That's correct.
Right? You go to the Jet game.
Yeah.
What is Dan Graca doing in New Orleans on a trip to New Orleans? It's considered a work trip for you, or how do you
well,
compartmentalize it?
If it wasn't a work trip, I wouldn't have gone. So,
okay.
You know.
Well, I thought maybe it was like a work/enjoyment fun trip.
No, I mean, it was a fun trip. It was cool. You know, I've never been to New Orleans before. It was
so
cool.
What'd you do? Let me hear.
What do we do? We got
what
there
do you do
late
in New
afternoon.
Orleans? You hit Bourbon Street?
We went to Bourbon Street.
Have a couple hurricanes?
No, none of that. We just went out to dinner, took a walk.
Good Creole dinner?
Good Creole dinner. We went to a place called Oceana Grill, I think it was called. One of the guys on our crew is very familiar with the fare down there. So he was the one that eyeballed it. We didn't have a reservation for any
Sounds
place
like a very
else.
seafoody place.
Very seafoody.
That's a very
seafoody.
New Orleans type thing.
Very appropriate for the region and stuff like that. So you got
jambalaya.
You got the gumbo and all those things. Jambalaya, fantastic, by the way. I had some.
Is that what you had?
Sunday. I had some on Sunday after the game.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. After the game, as you're walking out to the bus, and you got to get your bag screened and all that stuff. They give you the nice grab and go.
Mm-hmm.
Like the food, they very nice, like they're preparing it or whatever. And so they had another local place called Drago's.
I've been there.
Fantastic.
What does it have? What's it called? Oysters. Famous oyster place.
Right, but I went with the.
But I'm saying that's what they're known for.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the options
you don't
I
do
had
oysters.
No, and I don't think that was one of the options that you could have taken with you onto the bus or whatever. But I had a nice chicken, some jambalaya. Oh, I devoured it. Devoured it on
Famous
the bus.
New Orleans place.
Yes. Very, very good. And there's one in Jaxson, Mississippi,
Dan Graca
too.
goes to New Orleans.
Right.
And does not have a beverage.
I had a beer, but I didn't, go crazy, no.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't want to see what Saturday night on Bourbon Street was like?
We did. We walked on Bourbon Street on Saturday night.
And you don't try
tame.
try the hurricane?
No, didn't have a hurricane.
Just to be like, hey, I'm in New Orleans. I tried a hurricane. I
saw the other.
I did the whole local fair. They lived it up.
We saw some of the locals engaging in drug use on the streets and this and that. You just walk right past them as if it was nothing. Yeah, that was a thing that happened. So I felt like I got some of the culture, if you will. That was interesting. But then it was back to the hotel. Like I was telling you, it's Central Time Zone, so you got to get ready for a 12 o'clock kickoff as opposed to a 1 o'clock. And the bus that I had to be on, I can't remember. It was an early bus, to get on and get to the stadium. So, I couldn't go out carousing all night long.
Well,
Not that I was going to do it anyway.
You could.
Well, it wasn't going to be very fun. I could tell you that. I would have paid for it the next day.
We were there on Halloween one time, and they played a 1 o'clock game. And
you were drunk during the game.
All I know is I came home and my phone was broken.
Really?
It was cracked.
Did you check to see if your license is still down there? Maybe you left it down there.
It might be. That actually was the, so, and you're like, oh, this is a meaningless game. It's the end of the back half of the year. The Giants stunk that year. And what happens? 52-49 classic between Eli and Drew Brees, where Drew Brees throws 7 touchdowns and Eli throws 6. 2015, 10 years ago.
That wasn't the one where Drew Brees set the record, right, by running up the score late in the game against the Giants. Whatever record
was a
he was
super
going
close
for.
game, but he tied the NFL record for most touchdown passes in a game.
No, so it wasn't that one. This was a different one.
Oh, like an individual record.
Yeah, an individual thing or something like that. And I remember they just kept Sean Payton kept throwing the ball late in the game just so Brees would get a chance to set this record at home or something like that.
Yeah. No, not that game.
You know what I was amazed?
Wait, hold on real quick. What I've learned about you from working with you over the past year, you may be, I don't know how old you are.
Yeah.
In your 40s?
Yeah.
Low 40s?
Sure.
Yeah, let's say that. You are an old soul. Like, you might as well just be like 70. You use AOL.
Right.
You don't seem to do much, you're into just, doing nothing, sitting around.
It's working for me, though, right?
You're not having fun.
I like my life.
You don't really hit
I'm doing well.
You went to the casino there, which is a big thing. Like, Caesars basically owns that city. Yeah, you're probably not into a casino guy. You're not a big, you don't go out, you don't imbibe and enjoy the streets of New Orleans. You don't even try a hurricane when you're there.
Right.
I don't know if you're, I don't know if I'm like, hey, Dan Grassa, we should hang out on New Year's Eve or something like that. Like,
probably busy anyway.
See,
you know what I was
thing.
surprised
you don't care.
about? I really don't care. I don't care.
AOL
do you think I really
all,
care
by the way.
about what anybody thinks? Anybody at all? I'm doing fine. No, but you know what I was surprised about? And you can support this because you know.
Okay.
I was shocked. First time being at the Superdome, how small, for a place that massive, the press box and the press level is.
Was it freezing there?
I was comfortable. I was in short sleeves the whole game.
It gets really cold up there because the air conditioning blows. I heard they fixed it, and we were there earlier this year. It was better, but I have been there in the past, sitting in New Orleans when it's 80 degrees outside with like a winter hat and gloves on. Because you're like, you're so
like you're at a
hot.
hockey game.
You are literally on the roof.
Right, Ray? I mean, like being up high at the hockey game, you freeze your you-know-what off. You're wearing hats, gloves, coats. Yeah. It's the same thing.
That was a known thing. Apparently, they fixed it this year.
I think they must have
for the
fixed
Giant game. It was fine too. Because remember, we were there earlier this year too.
The 5 straight turnovers. Was that October? Turnovers. Was it October or still September? Do you remember?
First week of October, I believe. I think it was October 5th, the weekend of October 5th.
They must have fixed it because when I was up there, I didn't sense a problem. But I was shocked that there was okay, so where do you go? Like a place to sit down, actually eat your food or like nothing. They don't even have like a little mini dining room. They have nothing.
You're sitting at your chair there or standing up eating the food. It's very weird.
I was in the hallway and they had like all the equipment, our equipment crates and cases and this and that. I'm like putting it on top of that and we're standing in the hallway like just trying to scarf down some breakfast.
Well, it's got to be one of the oldest stadiums that there is out there. All right? I mean,
massive.
It's been around for a while.
Massive. Like really, really big. 800-919-3776. We'll get some football conversation.
Good effort by the Jets,
your
by the
calls, it happens, right? It happens. I mean, the Saints have a chance at the Super Bowl this year. Do they? No?
I mean, if they played the Jets and the Giants, they'd be,
can they still qualify? Are they mathematically
they
eliminated yet or
crush.
not? I don't know. Dan and Jordan, we're coming back. ESPN New York.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
The holidays are here, and Amazon Pickup is your MVP of package pickup. Need that perfect gift like a brand new jersey for the big game? With Amazon Pickup, you can grab your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule at no extra cost. It's fast, it's easy, and it keeps your holiday surprises tucked safely away. So whether you're running from work or heading to the holiday party, Amazon Pickup makes holiday shopping worry-free. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery Rankings.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Oh, see, Ray's doing a great job with the festive rejoins today. Little Christmas Eve. Graca and Jordan Raanan for DNR here on ESPN New York. 800-919-3776. So, look, it's no secret that the way this season is kind of racing to the finish line with 2 weeks still to go, the Jets and the Giants, we were joking about it before, but there is a better than good chance that the Jets and Giants are going to have two of the top 3 or 4 picks in this NFL draft. And we know that one team needs a quarterback. The other team drafted a guy just this year, and I don't know, there's still maybe a contingent of the fan base that is even open to the possibility of, should we trade Jaxson Dart and then use that number 1 pick if we get it on Fernando Mendoza or something like that? I don't agree personally that that's the way the Giants should go, but stranger things have happened.
I wouldn't either.
Right.
Me personally. But, I mean, if the new guy is a new coach or a new general manager or both come in and they are insistent on getting Fernando Mendoza, I do think in that situation you have to seriously contemplate it. It would have to be the perfect storm. Like Kirk Cignetti coming in. Like that's the equivalent of the only time we can remember it happening, right?
Right.
In Arizona. And that would be like Kirk Cignetti coming in, getting hired. Kirk Cignetti, obviously the Indiana coach, and then saying, I want my guy, and I'm willing to trade Jaxson Dart. The only difference is Josh Rosen couldn't play.
Right.
And I think we all can concede, at the very minimum, Jaxson Dart can play. What he will become, ultimately, how good, we don't know. But, yeah, to me, that's the only, not the only scenario, but it would have to be a crazy scenario where both the coach and or GM just said, hey, you know what? I like this other guy better. And he was insistent on making that move. Because I know that the people in the Giants building think very highly of Jaxson Dart. And they think he could be a good quarterback. So if that's the floor, right, that they think he's a really good quarterback and can be a good quarterback, it's going to take a lot for you to say, well, you know what, we're going to go take a risk on a guy we don't know if he's going to be a good quarterback.
Well, here's the thing about the Giants situation right now. You would agree probably. Are they one player away? Or are they more than one player away?
I think it's fair to say
they're
more than one player away.
So unless you have a guy, non-quarterback even, who is number one coming into this draft and is like, oh, my gosh. Remember how hyped
Myles Garrett.
Remember how hyped up Jadeveon Clowney was when he was coming out and everybody thought he was the next Lawrence Taylor or whatnot, and he's been on like 800 different teams?
Remember the Giants played in the Chase Young Bowl?
Absolutely. Saw Chase Young up and close and personal on Sunday. But why don't you then just use that pick and hold it hostage and have people light up your phones and see what they're going to give up? Because as you said, you're going to get some nice draft capital for that number one pick. And the Giants are more than just one player away. This could accelerate your rebuild here.
What do you think nice draft capital entails?
At least 2 number ones, maybe even a third. I'll give you an example. All right, so let's say
that's all. Yeah, so I'm interested to hear. So we're going to have Matt Miller on later, right?
Right.
One of our ESPN draft analysts. I'm curious to hear what kind of prospect Fernando Mendoza is considered. Like, I don't think he's 3 first-round pick kind of talent where teams are going to be, clawing at each other trying to get him. We'll see. I mean, I'm open to hearing what the draft experts say. I mean, I spoke to some people around the league, and they do like him. But you're talking about a guy who is basically immobile, right? In today's day and age, like, is this a guy that did you even know he existed basically before this year?
Before the season started, when he was a Cal all those years, that Cal Berkeley was not jumping off the page.
Right. So I'm not sure. Like, you can get picks for a team that can trade him, but I don't think it's going to be one of these monster hauls. Now, here is what Giants and Jets. Then the Giants fans should be rooting for, not Jets fans. Giants fans should be rooting for Fernando Mendoza to go into the college football playoffs and the Oregon quarterback too, and Ty Simpson, Alabama, and absolutely light it up.
Sure.
That, if the Giants have a top 3 pick, makes their pick more valuable.
1,000%. But see, here's the thing. Like, how quarterback needy the NFL is. I mean, it's obvious, okay? Like, you look at all these coaches around the NFL this year, the first-year coaches, who have done tremendous jobs in their first year, like turning around franchises, whether it's Jacksonville, Chicago, New England, right? Like, what do they all have in common, though? They had a quarterback. You know what I mean? They had a quarterback there already. You know what I mean? So that kind of helps, and it just goes to show you need one. You're not winning without one. So I agree with you. Like, on the surface, see, Fernando Mendoza, to me, you can ask the guys. Like, even from the beginning of the season, I said, this guy, when you watch him play, he could be another Kirk Cousins. Like, he plays very similar to Kirk Cousins. He looks like that, and then you've heard the Jared Goff comparisons as you move through the seasons.
Are those guys you want to give 3 first-round picks
No,
for?
but my point is this. We are such a quarterback-needy society. And so whether you think the player is worth 3 first-round picks, you know what is worth 3 first-round picks? The number 1 pick in the draft. That's what I mean. So it's like, you can, guess what? Give me your picks. You now have the number 1 pick. Take whoever the heck you want to take. It doesn't have to be Fernando Mendoza. It doesn't have to be Dante Moore. But I got the number 1. So if I'm the Giants, I got the number 1 pick. You want to move up, take whoever you want. Give me my 3s, and I'll move out of your way.
The Eagles, I believe, did it for Carson Wentz. But here's the thing.
He was a 2 pick, right? Number 2 pick.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. I think this is more like 2018 was actually a really strong quarterback draft, right?
Yes.
But the Jets.
Lamar Jackson was the 5th.
The Jets traded up from 6 to 3.
6 to 3, and it was 2 2s.
So I think that's my only thing. I think we're looking at probably something more along that kind of haul than the 3 first-round pick type of haul.
So you're talking 2 1s.
We always say this, like, I think it's a stupid conversation. 2 1s or 3 1s. There's a big difference between if one of those 1s is the 4th pick, right, or one of those 1s is the 23rd pick. So they're not like not every one is created equal. It's like not even close. Yeah, if a team in the top 5 is trading with you, their 1 is worth, like, if it's a team that's trading up from 23, yeah, then it's 3. Then it could be 3 1s. But the 5th pick is worth multiple 1s.
Well, let me ask you.
You know what I mean?
Let's speculate. Let's just, like, ballpark. All right, the Colts right now are sitting at the 18th pick, which is the Jets' pick. Okay, They're probably not going to win another game. So let's just say ballpark it. The Colts are picking 15th. So the Jets have 3 and 15. Let's just assume. Is that alone good enough to get up to number 1? If you give them 3 and 15, you need another pick.
Definitely.
Probably.
No, I don't think so.
They're going.
That's definitely enough.
It might be a second rounder. It might be something
3
next
and
year.
15 is a lot.
I know it's a lot, but I'm saying this is. You talked about it was 2018. 2018 versus 2026 in the NFL. Times have changed. We've become an even more quarterback-dependent league. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. I'm going to pull up the draft value.
Think
chart.
about that. RJ, what was the ridiculous haul? Was it the ones that Washington gave up to go all the way up to number 2 that one year to get RG3?
They gave up a lot that year.
And think of what was that, 2012? That was like 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Capital always changes. Remember, Mike Ditka once gave up an entire draft for Ricky Williams.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not going to happen. What picks did you just say? You said 15 and what?
15 and 3.
15 and 3, according to this random chart I picked up.
With the points or whatever?
Is worth more points than 1. I don't think you're going to get that much more than that, to be honest with you. That is a lot of value. You're only moving down 2 spots. You probably still get your choice at 3 of the top player in the draft that's not a quarterback, right? And you're getting a fairly high first-round pick. So that's my point. I don't think you're going to get, a 15-3 and a future first-round pick like that I don't know if that prospect exists for something like that this year. But that's why I'm interested to hear what Matt Miller says. I am. I'm interested to hear what kind of prospect is Fernando Mendoza considered, or what's the Oregon quarterback's name again?
Dante Moore.
Or Ty Simpson. I want to see can any
I think there's a better chance of Bart Simpson being drafted in the top 5 than Ty Simpson. I mean,
I've been extremely unimpressed the last 2 times I've watched him play.
How can you not?
Extremely.
By the way, RJ, the trade in 2012 with Washington for RG3, they got what? Or gave up what?
Caramba. That was 3 firsts and a 2.
Think about that, okay?
Think about the kind of prospect RG3 was considered compared to these guys.
He won a Heisman Trophy just like Fernando Mendoza did. And he was a guy that kind of just burst onto the radar that year. It depends on the year and it depends on the organization. How desperate an organization is. And at the time, Washington, they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They were just throwing caution into the wind. And they got seduced by the guy, like you said, who everybody thought was going to be the next best thing. But, there was some concern as to whether or not he was durable enough to last on the NFL level. And as we know, he didn't.
Yeah. I mean, look, he was considered – first of all, he had ability to run. And people were dreaming that this, he was basically going to be, the new age version of Michael Vick. And he had
the great personality, all those things. Yeah. Remember, and he was also he
also was really good until he tore his knee, and then that kind of derailed him. But remember, I'm not sure he was going to be great. There were other things that
he was also in that same draft with Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck was a generational,
which is why he was. What factors into the equation too is where's the drop off? There's 2 high. Let's say there's 2 really high end quarterbacks in this draft. All right, then that second one almost becomes just as valuable. We don't want to miss out on we can't miss out on both of them. That second spot almost becomes as valuable as the first. Almost. Not quite, but almost.
I'm looking at the bracket here, but no, can't. I was going to say, wouldn't it be great if Oregon and Indiana could meet in the national championship game, and then it's those 2 quarterbacks going toe-to-toe, and that could almost be the tipping point as to who's going to be the number 1 pick.
I mean, that would be the Giants' dream if they're sitting there with the number 1 pick.
They could play each other. They could play each other in the semifinals, but they both have to win. Indiana's going to be Indiana's favored against Alabama. I don't think Oregon's favored against Texas Tech.
I'd be surprised if Indiana lost to Alabama.
I was not surprised. I thought Alabama would win, but in getting revenge on Oklahoma like that, and they were down 17-0 on Friday night. 17-0 at Oklahoma, on the road, a legit road game, and they came back and won that.
So wait, as a Jets guy, you'd be all right.
By the way, Indiana's 7-point favorite over Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, or I didn't realize this. Oregon 1.5 favorite against Texas Tech.
Yeah.
How about that?
I in the bowl pool, I picked Texas Tech there. I'm in a bowl pool.
By the way, speaking of points, Oregon on Saturday night. What was the line depending on where you saw it? 22 over James Madison. They're up 34-3 at the half, and JMU has the backdoor cover because Oregon takes their foot off the gas in the second half to where Dan Lanning afterwards is basically like
quack,
destroying his team because they let James Madison actually, make it respectable, if you will. That's not up to our standard. Having a lopsided win like they did, and it still wasn't good enough. They went out there and won 51-34, but they had a 34-3 lead at halftime, and it wasn't good enough.
As a Jets guy,
yeah,
Dante Moore interests you? Little risk there as a one-year starter for sure.
Let me put it this way.
Okay.
Put
it that way.
I agree with you. The risk, absolutely. And I think that I speak for most Jet enthusiasts. Have you seen what they trotted out there this year at the all-important position? Have you seen what they've trotted out there for the majority of the last decade at the all-important position? How can you say
How about
that,
my lifetime?
You know what I'm saying? So how could you say that anybody is not intriguing, especially if they've yet to set foot on the NFL level yet? Right?
Yeah, but the last thing you want is another miss at that position. I mean, you've seen them over and over again.
Isn't that what sinks you? Right?
Zach Wilson, Mark Sanchez.
Well, Mark Sanchez wasn't a miss.
He was fine. Well, he wasn't a hit. Like, he was fine, and he did some good things, but he wasn't ultimately what you drafted him to be. I think he was the third overall pick.
Sixth.
Sixth.
They traded up for him, too. They traded up. I mean, look, here's the thing. I mean,
he was fine, but he didn't end up being a true franchise quarterback.
Well, I mean, the first 2 years, it's hard to argue. I mean, he won 4 road playoff games the first 2 years.
I'm not knocking what he
Problem
did.
is everything around Mark Sanchez.
The fact that you're even arguing that he almost lived up to potential
it didn't have
just shows you how low the bar is,
right?
Dan.
Well, and he was probably the most successful one they've had in the last 15 years, right? I mean, I don't count the 1 year with Favre. That doesn't count.
The only one that's even comparable is basically Chad Pennington.
And Chad Pennington was before Mark Sanchez. Think about it.
That's what I mean. He's that's it.
And the guy who had the quote unquote best season, the 1 year of Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015. How about that? Like, go figure. Where he set like the Jet single season like franchise records for like passing yards, touchdowns, all that. Not passing yards, but touchdown passes in 2015. Last time they had a winning season. So that's what I mean.
You're proving how bad it's been.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, nobody's going to argue and tell you it hasn't been bad. I mean, look at what, no knock on the kid now, but I mean, like, Brady Cook was not supposed to be starting games. We saw Brady Cook in August playing the preseason. And it was like, oh, okay, great. Undrafted free agent, good for him. He grew up in Missouri, wanted to play at U of M. He got the opportunity, became a fixture there. Great. He's on the NFL. Now he started. This is going to be his third straight start on Sunday. His fourth. I mean, like, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, our Giants and Jets, and the great individuals that run the team, went into the offseason, came up with the plan to let's get and start Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. That's where we're at with New York football. Let's get those guys to be our starters.
Well, the Giants at least tripled up. Then they drafted a guy, and then they even brought in more insurance in Jameis Winston. Justin Fields was a lottery ticket. That's all it was. And if it worked, great. Maybe we have a diamond in the rough. We've seen the reclamation project with some of these other quarterbacks, but obviously, it didn't work out. Tyrod, Tyrod, great veteran. You feel good going out there, having him play a game or two for you, but unfortunately just couldn't stay healthy. And that's why we're on to Brady Cook. And here we are, and that's why let's put it this way, that's why both of these teams are going to be picking yet again in the top 5 in the draft.
The Giants are playing for the number 1 overall pick this week.
I'm really curious about that. Giant fans. And we'll hear from you, too, at 800-919-3776. You're a Giant fan. Do you want to win Sunday? Like, I know this is like a conversation we have often, but if you're a Giant fan, do you want to win
Absolutely
Sunday?
not. That's what's better for the franchise.
You're not a Giant fan.
No, I
you
understand.
Cover the Giants.
And look, I've been in this situation before as a fan.
Right.
And you want your team to lose, in theory, it's better. But when you sit down in front of the TV and you start watching the game, you naturally just start rooting for your team to win.
Correct.
And it's hard to just sit there and root for them to lose. But the reality is, and it, if you're a Giant fan right now, it benefits the franchise to lose both games down the stretch here and get the number 1 pick. That will help you be better in the future. And that's what's important right now, right? Building a team to the future. That's what you're trying to do.
See, I am not a tank guy, like in theory. I believe like you're a fan, you want your team to win. The word tank, we're not even using it right. The word tank is
totally intentionally losing.
Right. It's
like not playing anybody.
Competitive
losing on
tanking.
purpose.
Competitive tanking, right? No, but in this situation, here is where I think there's a difference. Like the situation the Giants are in right now. When you're basically this close to the finish line, you could see the light at the end of the tunnel where all you got to do is, I hate to use the term, like lose out 2 more games or 1 more game, whatever it is. Then at that point, you're saying, all right, like I'll give you like what the Jets are doing. They could say they're trying to win the games, and I know that the coaches are definitely trying to win the games. The players are going out there preparing, practicing. They want to win. I know they do. But some of the personnel decisions, a lot of these young guys, the guys that they're playing, giving an opportunity out there each and every week, is that like
Giants did it in Week 18 last year.
Does Brady Cook really give them
Neighbors
the best?
didn't finish the game in Week 18 last year.
Brady Cook, I don't think, gives them their best chance to win a football game.
No.
They don't.
No.
Or he doesn't.
Well, you see, you can justify it in a situation like that by saying, hey, we want to see if the young guy could play. And so you could at least justify it to your team. Like the Giants can't justify just taking Russell Wilson and making him their starter right now with everybody else in that room knowing he's the third best player. We're going to put third best quarterback. You're going to put our third best quarterback right now as a starter. Why am I going out there and playing if that's what you're going to do?
Right.
You could justify it when it's a young guy and you said, let's at least take a chance to see him here. Same with the Dolphins. Same with the Jets. Like this, that's what they're doing. So it has to be within reason. Yes, and that's kind of why the Jets are able to pull it off, and the Giants wouldn't be able to just say, hey, we're resting Jaxson Dart. We're going to play Russell Wilson here.
Yeah, that would make zero sense. I mean, they tried to give it a whirl at the beginning of the season. Hey, let's see if we catch lightning in a bottle. Maybe, we're competitive. We hang in the race. And it didn't happen, and then it's one eye towards the future. That's why, look, I know Jaxson Dart got hurt, but you can't necessarily sit here and quibble with the plan that the Giants had as far as how they deployed the quarterbacks this year. Once they've realized, maybe this ain't the best thing, it's Dart time.
Yeah, if you have a complaint, it's how they got there and end up with Russell Wilson, right? Remember, they spun like the Tasmanian devil trying to get anyone and everybody. Matthew Stafford, Cam Ward. They waited for Aaron Rodgers. They waited for Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
They thought their roster was good enough that they could win a bunch of games with Aaron Rodgers.
Thought the defense was going to be better, at least on paper. Should have been. 800-919-3776 are your calls. Start the next hour. Football on the table. Matt Miller going to join us coming up at 8:30. Talk a little draft with him. We've got CMT coming up in the next hour as well. It is Dan and Jordan, Graca and Raanan, and for DNR right here on ESPN New York. 6:56 on this Tuesday morning. Let's get a check of the roads and say good morning to Debbie Duhame.
Good morning on this Christmas Eve. It's GNR for DNR. Good morning, guys. Hey, let's see what's happening with the PATH trains. Newark to World Trade delays. Journal Square to 33rd delays with some ongoing activity at Journal Square. Light snow falling, so be careful out here this morning. Taking a ride to the 1 train, we're seeing delays downtown with a signal malfunction. Watch for slowdowns over on the Thruway North at 15A with a collision being cleared. Watch for slowdowns there. Traffic is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org. I'm Debbie Duhame on 880 ESPN New York.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $159 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM839072. MSRP $26,690. Zero security deposit. Ends 1/2/26.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Harry Douglas here, and the holidays are rolling in, and if men in your life are struggling with their holiday wish list, tell them to add Manscaped to make gift giving easy and completely stress-free this year. From the beard hedger to the lawnmower trimmer, Manscaped's precision tools keep you looking sharp, feeling confident, and ready for every event and celebration. Right now at Target, get 20% off on the Handyman Shaver, Beard Hedger, and the Chairman Plus Essentials Kit, a must-have for a smooth face shave. Hurry up though, offer ends December 27th.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for 3.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Because RJ sitting there is a nice holiday card with a gift card inside. I mean, come on, totally unnecessary.
He didn't have to do that.
But the real question is the money coming out of RJ's pocket.
Well, who else's pocket's coming out of?
Is it coming out of the company?
Let's cover some ground here. Admissions of driving the wrong way on the turnpike.
Yeah.
Losing your car. Losing your license. Your ID here not working. And accusing me of ripping off the company.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
13 minutes into the show, baby. You're off to a real good start.
On ESPN New York. And streaming live on YouTube.
Rolling along on this Tuesday, Christmas Eve, Graca and Jordan Raanan in for DNR here on ESPN New York. Matt Miller Going to join us, talk a little NFL draft at 8:30. We got CMT, RJ working feverishly on that a little bit later on in the hour. You want to get some calls up? What do you say?
I think we should do that.
Let's do some calls. A lot of people want to chime in. They are foaming at the mouth when it comes to the football. We are going to start it off with, if I could get the mouse to work properly, and let's say hi to Frank in Newark, who bats leadoff. Frank, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Christmas Eve over here in this rainy day.
Same to you, Frankie. What's up?
No, I just wanted to say, when it comes to the Giants fan base and saying they would like to trade they would like to trade Jaxson Dart and try to go for a quarterback in the number 1 overall pick. I need to remind them we don't even know Shane. Hopefully, Shane's not going to be around after the new year. That would be my Christmas wish. And we don't even know who the new head coach is. And I think then a couple of weeks ago, we spoke on with Carlin, and you said, a lot of times people try to do the quarterback, the round peg in a square hole when it comes to the quarterback, and a lot of times that doesn't work out. Like for instance, in with the Chargers, with Harbaugh, he loved Justin Herbert. He didn't feel like he needed to go out there and find a quarterback. However, I will say this: we do have to do our due diligence, and we have to honestly assess the quarterback class coming out next year. If the new powers that be like them, great. If they don't, we still have a quarterback on the roster. I believe, Jordan, you said makes the job attractive for an incoming head coach and a GM. So we do have to do our homework because we can't mess around with the opportunity to actually recreate our roster for years to come.
I absolutely think you have to be open to it. Like, first of all, for the very least, to at least pretend to the other teams that you're interested in taking one of the quarterbacks to maybe drive up the value.
Right, it's a cat and mouse game.
That's number one. But on top of that, just to do your due diligence. Like, if you do think that Peyton Manning is in this draft, you should consider taking Peyton Manning, right? I mean, I don't think that kind of prospect exists. But, yeah, you should absolutely be open to it. There are people out there. I mean, I've spoken to people on both ends. Way more, I think, coaches and executives who like Jaxson Dart and think, hey, that's something I could work with, and he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. But there are people out there, I've heard from people out there that say, you know what, I'm not the biggest fan of him. He just runs around, scrambles, isn't the greatest processors, too much freelance. Let's just go freelance and hero ball. Like, if that guy is the one who's hired and somebody with that philosophy is hired, yeah, you shouldn't force them to keep Jaxson Dart, especially if you have another alternative with the number 1 overall pick.
Well, you bring up a good point, though, because I think anybody who's watched the Giants for the last few weeks, since Brian Daboll was let go, and now it's the Mike Kafka show, we see a different version of Jaxson Dart. I mean, I'm not just going to point to the game on Sunday against Minnesota where he was obviously supremely ineffective. But you would admit...
He didn't play a good game.
Right.
He had a rough game.
But it's pretty obvious that since the coaching change, we have seen a Jaxson Dart that is not as dynamic, not anymore near as prolific.
I think there are other reasons. He is coming off a concussion.
Well, that's true.
Right? You're not obviously going to run him the same way. He played a really good defense this past week. It's been cold and windy at the stadium. It makes it harder to go out and throw the football. So there are reasons, but overall, yeah, the final result is he has not been as explosive and played as well the last 3 games.
Okay, so you bring up that last point with the cold. Guess what? The cold and the wind aren't going anywhere if you're playing for the Giants, right, as far as being a late season
But you have to learn it. You have to learn how to deal with that. There was a pass to Wan'Dale Robinson. He likes to throw that feathery touch pass, and that's great, and it looks amazing. And he threw it, and Wan'Dale Robinson ended up getting crushed. Like, maybe that's when you have to drive the ball in the wind in December in MetLife Stadium.
And he will, too. And, I mean, this is a kid who's played in cold weather. He went to high school in Utah, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? But
It's
is
cold
a learning
in Utah,
curve.
though.
Very cold, depending on, the day of the week. But to my point that we've seen now a head coaching change and yet different utilization of the quarterback to where, okay, when the new coach comes in here, whatever scheme that he wants to implement offensively, what if it doesn't look quite the same as it did when Brian Daboll was the head coach the first however many games of his career? That's my point. So, yes, I don't think he's going anywhere, but there is something to digest, I think, if you're a Giant fan, that depending on the hire, we don't know if it's going to bring out the best in the quarterback, and that's what you want to do.
True. And I think Jaxson Dart likes that, where he can go and freelance and play that kind of game. But also, we have to be realistic. Like, part of that was Brian Daboll was in self-preservation mode. And he was going to call quarterback dives and traps and down 3 scores in the red zone. Like, they was just reckless. I mean, I remember there was 2 games in a row. Right. Philadelphia and San Francisco. They're down 3 scores and running him on just straight QB runs and dives in the red zone in the final minutes. Like, and
what
look,
are you doing?
Honestly, I think he enjoys that. Like, that's his mentality. But also, that's not what I don't think any coach is going to come in here and do that either.
Because you want to make sure that you have this guy
there has
for
to
the
be
long
a middle
haul,
ground.
And there's not going to be any sort of a guy who's going to be suddenly compromised because he's taking too many hits. That's the last thing you want to have.
I also think this narrative that they didn't throw the ball at all and he didn't, like, he only threw 13 passes. I get that. Like, that was the final stat line on Sunday. Like, the first 2 drives, they wanted to slow down the pass rush, so they ran the ball consistently, right? Like, pretty much every play. 16 runs, 5 passes. After that, the final 5 drives of the game, they threw 20. They called 20 passes and 15 runs. Now, he was sacked 5 times, and a whole bunch of those were negated by penalty. But it's not like they didn't throw the ball at all. That narrative that's out there, I think, is kind of silly. And I hear it a lot from a lot of people, like, oh, if they're just going to make him hand off the ball, just sit him and don't play him. They threw the ball the final 5 drives, or they went to throw the ball. Didn't actually happen. More than they did run it.
Well, like you said, I mean, there was 22 accepted penalties in this game between the 2 teams, which is going to...
It was a disaster. Oh. There was a couple pass interference penalties. There was also, he took 5 sacks. He's holding the ball a little bit long, like those kind of things. He was trying to run. The Vikings did a really, really good job of, like, closing out those running lanes and staying in their lanes.
And who's their defensive coordinator again?
Yeah, the wrong Brian. The other Brian.
I like
Sorry,
that.
whoops, wrong Brian.
The other Brian. Coming soon.
That, in retrospect, is just like Bill Belichick texting Brian Flores.
How about
the Giants?
By the way, where do things stand with
can't make it up, man.
With the lawsuit?
Whoops.
Like, did that get dismissed or get thrown out? Is everything cool with that? Do you remember the Brian Flores lawsuit that he had against the league, right?
I still think it exists.
It's still out there. It's still sitting on a.
I'm pretty sure it's still out there. As of August, it was said that it could go to trial.
How does that work? That just like sits on a desk, like in the corner someplace, until they get to it. Like the papers just like pile up, and then like they take one off the top. And
I mean, I think that's why we're sitting here right now, and nobody's mentioning Brian Flores as a possible serious Giants candidate, right? He fits the bill. Guy who's been a head coach before, who can speak to an entire room.
New York guy,
Bronx, right? Strong personality. Like, this would be almost the ideal candidate for the Giants. Second time, maybe he learned from some of the mistakes of the bad. Like, that would be basically it. But that way the last time played out kind of makes it really difficult and impossible to go down that route.
Bronx, Brooklyn. They both start with BRO.
There's a major difference between the Bronx and Brooklyn.
No, but I'm just saying it's easy to confuse the two. The Bronx, Brooklyn, whatever. But he's a New York guy, to your point. Real quick. Mm-hmm. And do we have any, like, kind of, what's our, like, looking into the future music? Or, like, little sound effect
I could look into the past. I could do that.
How about, let's do that. And we'll pretend that we're going into the past, but it's really the future. Right now, on December 23rd in the year of our Lord 2025, mark this tape. Who's the Giant head coach going to be?
Ooh.
Take a gander. You could look like a genius months from now.
Marcus Freeman.
Really?
I mean, I'm going out on a limb.
No, but that's good. I want to say, I like this.
So here's kind of what you're hearing when you're talking to people. He's going to be part of the mix.
He's taking the interview.
He's going to be part of the mix.
Because, by the way, if you're Marcus Freeman, okay, you got a job already.
He makes a lot of money, too.
Makes a lot of money. Because we went through this whole song and dance with him last year. If I'm Marcus Freeman, and this is where it would ruffle my feathers if I was part of Notre Dame, if you're going to sit there and have dialogue with an NFL team, what are you doing? You might as well then just I would sit him down and say, if I was Pete Bevacqua or whoever the AD is, whatever his name is, I would say Bevacqua, the AD for Notre Dame. And I find out that Marcus Freeman is thinking about sitting down and having an interview with an NFL team and wants to do it. I would be like, hey, Marcus, why don't you just get up and go? Okay? Just get up and go. Because if you're having these talks, you obviously have one eye on greener pastures. Why don't you just go? You know what's out there. You know that they're going to pay you a lot of money. You know what you have here. But if you really want the challenge of the NFL, just go. And we'll get somebody who wants to be here. It's like the old Bo Schembechler line, right? Like, we want a Michigan man. We want a Notre Dame guy. Somebody who wants to be here, who can actually get his team into the playoff. How about that?
Ooh, I like that.
And by the way, that decision was justified, right?
They were in the championship game last year.
But they weren't in this year. What have you done for me lately?
Come on,
Beat Miami. Beat Miami. And Miami and Alabama making it, by the way, winning in the first-round games, it justified the committee's decision.
All I know is that they were too good for the American institution that is the Pop-Tarts Bowl, okay? Too good for that.
And did you know that
I like Pop-Tarts, too.
Did you know that the Pop-Tarts Bowl this year, it's not just going to be one edible mascot this year. There's going to be 3 of them, I think.
Isn't
different
it a
flavors?
vote?
And different flavors.
No, but it's a vote of which flavor gets sacrificed or what have you.
No, there's going to be multiple sacrifices.
Oh, great.
Stand by.
Can we have a Pop-Tart race?
No, you don't want to see
the trophy's the toaster.
No, you put them in, you put them in the toaster,
toaster,
and whichever one pops up first is the winner. It only makes sense. Got to be strawberry, right?
This is a real sports-based conversation in 2025.
All right, here we go. Pop-Tarts Bowl. Divided into Team Sprinkles and Team Swirls for the game this year. Fans will vote on which team gets eaten by the winning football team.
You've seen the
swirls.
Yeah,
Yes.
you've seen, Jordan, how the teams, like, they add the sprinkles to their designs on their helmet. The Georgia Tech, like, has the stripe with sprinkles on it.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine how that Golden Dome would have looked with some sprinkles on it? Come on.
Yeah. They couldn't do it. That's probably why they bailed out in the game.
Let's say hi to Stamatis in Astoria up next here on ESPN New York. Stamatis, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning, Graca. Good morning, Jordan. How you guys doing today?
Good, dude.
Good morning. Happy holidays, man.
Yeah. Happy holidays to you as well, man. A pleasure to speak to you both as always. I'm calling with a different angle. I just wanted to pick your brains. So I'm a Giant fan, but I'm calling regarding the Jets. So, obviously it's easier for me to say things because I'm a Giant fan, but here's my take. I think that the Jets president, his name is Elia, I can't pronounce it right, is the one that needs to be looked at. He's been a part of that organization since 2000. He was a time president. You're
talking about Jaime Elhai, the president.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct. Yes, sir. So he's the president since 2019. He's been with the organization since 2000. He's kind of got his hands on everything during this worst tenure in Jets history, right? It's very similar to me to Steve Mills with the Knicks. That whole, he was always around for 20 years, all the worst times. He was always at the press conferences, standing there smiling, signing the worst signings, et cetera, et cetera. So it took Leon Rose to come in, and, they went outside the box. He was an agent, and they brought him in. And then after, I think, one season, he got rid of Mills, and the rest is history. As soon as the guy got out of the room and, sorry, and his influence is gone, it seems they started making all the right decisions. So I'm saying, and again, I'm not saying Leon Rose, I think the Jets should think a little outside the box here. I think they should even, I know it's going to sound bizarre, but I'd even say they should speak to Leon Rose and ask him his opinion, pick his brain, say, listen, in your form of management, in your world of agents, are there any agents like you that know football the way you know basketball? Because, you'll make the wiser choices by bringing in capologists and, doing all the things that he's done to turn this franchise around the way he did. I think that's the only hope the Jets got. Just wanted your thoughts on that.
I think it's apples and oranges, the two different
it's a different
examples.
sport. You tell me, Dan. As far as I know, Jaime is basically that's like asking for ownership to be gone. He's like Woody's guy, right?
Well, it's not that he's Woody's.
He's like embedded in the
he runs the business
upper level of the organization.
Runs the business side of things. Steve Mill and Jaime, and I know him well, friends, and he's a great guy. Do you ever see him doing interviews to the extent that Steve Mills used to do? Steve Mills was very out there, open. I mean, he had a microphone in his face all the time. He was at these press conferences. Steve Mills actually had a say or two into what was going on with some of the roster and the players and this and that. But Jaime's not that guy. He shuns from the spotlight. He don't want any part of that. You know what I mean? So I think that it's two completely different situations. He runs the business side of things, and they have football people run the football side.
Darren Mucci, the Jets general manager, they need him to run the football side, and him be in charge of all those things. And you hire the right guy, and that guy needs to set it up where
let's be real.
Everything in the organization runs through the football side.
And we got right. And I do think there is that delineation with the franchise. And I'm going to throw Aaron Glenn's name into it, too, because Aaron Glenn has quite a voice and quite a say and influence as far as football is concerned with the organization. It's him and Darren Mucci. And I know that the Jets build is about the future, right? Because obviously the present isn't very good right now, so it's about building this roster. The draft, there aren't many teams, and there may not be a team in the NFL outside of the Jets who, when you add in the draft capital, the cap space that they have available over the next couple of years, I don't think any team is stocked as well as they are. So far, the early returns, okay, with Darren Muji and these trades that he's made, the Quinnen trade, the Sauce trade, what he's gotten back, those look like great trades right now. The trade, which was basically a swap of 6th, 7th round picks at the end of training camp for a guy like Jawan Briggs, who most people have never heard of, from the Cleveland Browns, an interior defensive lineman. For essentially a 7th round pick, guy's played good football this year. He might be a starter on your team next year, among others. The Isaiah Williams find, the guy who might go to the Pro Bowl this year, is one of the best return men in the NFL. Little things like that give you a little bit of confidence, but now you have to go out there and really hit one out of the park because you got to, A, build up this team, and B, you got to find the most important position, and that's the quarterback.
Yeah, obviously their success is going to be dictated by what they do at the quarterback position.
1,000%.
Because you're not going anywhere if you don't. But at the same time, they position themselves nicely. And basically, there's a lot of things that you don't love about Aaron Glenn this year, about what happened. But you're hoping, hey, Darren Muji could stock him like Brad Holmes did Dan Campbell in Detroit, where he just had all these draft picks, nailed them. I mean, super high-end players like Hutchinson, Gibbs, Sewell, just left and right stacking that roster, and then you're in good shape. So, I mean, it's up to Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn to find the right players now.
And by the way, I'm just throwing this out there. Just how do you view it? Does it make Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson maybe look a little bit better in terms of they leave Detroit, and Detroit's probably going to miss the playoffs this year? How does Dan Campbell look great?
I think the fact that Ben Johnson, sorry, was that right?
Makes Ben Johnson look better.
Exactly. Ben Johnson, the thing has had success, especially with his offense in Chicago. I think we would feel a little bit better if the Jets' defense, which is supposed to be Aaron Glenn's specialty, wasn't a total disaster right now.
And maybe
so then we'd be like, yeah, see, they missed him on defense. Well, meanwhile, his defense,
right? Well, in hindsight,
has been awful lately.
Right, because in hindsight, he completely stayed out of the way with the defense, and I think now we ask him again. He probably wouldn't have done it.
I don't. Does he really completely stay it? If that's the way, if that's
it's not,
totally
true,
true,
they weren't running his scheme.
I know, but if you're totally out of the picture and out of the way, shouldn't you be getting more involved as a head coach when your team is hemorrhaging?
Well, I think this is all part of the process of learning to be a head coach, and now he realizes at the end of the day, okay, that might be somebody else's defense, but I'm the coach, and I'm the only one that gets saddled with the loss.
It just makes it a little harder for you to say that when you say, well, they miss Aaron Glenn.
No, but the thing about Detroit, though,
they miss.
Remember, the whole thing about Detroit, all we hear about is Detroit, and Dan Campbell, Mr. Biting Kneecaps, Applebee's commercials, all these things. Everybody loves Dan Campbell. He loses his coordinators, and he's going to miss the playoffs with a team that's still supremely talented.
Super talented. Defensively, though, they're beat up, and they're
beat up, right?
Again, they're just
but Hutchinson is a superb player, superb. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to be more talented, Detroit, than some of the teams that are even in the playoffs this year.
True, but also let's remember what happened at the end of last year when Aaron Glenn was still there.
They got decimated.
Their defense was bad at the end of the year.
Right, because he literally had nothing.
Which is kind of in the same situation again now. Very similar.
But you have Hutchinson at least. Remember, he went down. He was the first domino to fall last year.
Cornerbacks, you're without Brian Branch. I mean, they're without a lot of guys again right now. They're in bad shape, and that's kind of why they can't stop. Imagine if I told you before the season.
What if I told you?
The Detroit Lions, the Kansas City Chiefs,
Baltimore Ravens,
and the Baltimore Ravens wouldn't make those are three of the favorites for the Super Bowl.
When you're filling out your little card or whatever it is at the beginning of the season, making your predictions, those are when you take the SAT, you get gimme points for your name. Those are 3 gimmies.
Yeah.
Like when you're filling out your NCAA bracket, you take the number 1 seeds and you just put them to the next round. Kansas City, Detroit, Baltimore. Those should have been givens at the beginning of the season.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy, this league. 800-919-3776. More football conversations, CMT, a little bit later on in the hour. Dan and Jordan for DNR, ESPN New York.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law, Bite Back.
All the way over Barzell, score! New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can talk college football with your BFF while taking Buster to the vet.
Hey, yeah, I can't believe he ate the whole thing of chicken wings.
And I can't believe we're staging a comeback. Touchdown! Yes!
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. For wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers, must be connected to impacted tower at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
All right, Dan and Jordan in for DNR here on ESPN New York. Talking a little football. We got CMT still to come this hour as well. Let's say hi to Artie in Brooklyn, who is up next here on ESPN New York. Art, how we doing, my friend?
Guys, you guys are my Christmas gift.
Really? It's not even Christmas
yet. I wish you guys a happy holidays and a happy New Year.
Same to you, bud.
I don't know if you guys heard Mr. T, but you could lock it up. The Jets are going to get Mendoza. I mean, Mr. T made it sound like this guy's the next coming of, Tom Brady. So they're going to do whatever they takes. I know everybody's got an ear, especially AG, who got the job, who got recommended by Mr. T. Now, coming into the season, I had two hopes, that AG was Tomlin and that Justin Fields was Hurts. And it started out really good. That Pittsburgh game, I thought we had both. And it just went downhill, and I agree. I agree with you guys with that. If AG is a good coach, he's not letting the defense be dictated by – if that was a horrible hire then. How are you hiring somebody that's not running similar schemes to you? And then when you see that it's not working, I mean, yesterday, okay, fine. Look, they were overmatched a little bit, right? But here's the thing, what gets to me. Olivier, whatever the heck his name is the best guy on the team, right? You got to stop that guy. You either double team him. To see a rub play and see this kid Starks try to cover him, it just killed me.
That was a lobby
It just killed me.
about.
I thought he was you're talking about Olivier.
Whatever the heck it is.
No, I didn't. I thought you were honestly talking about the Niner game, because didn't he say yesterday? Because I thought he was thinking Monday night.
Dan's face, you got no idea where he was going.
I see this kid Willis come in, right, for Green Bay after. I said, the game's over. And this wicked kid looks like what I wanted Fields to look like. He's a free agent too, by the way.
But Art, remember, Art. Here's the thing about Malik Willis, okay?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Titans version of Malik Willis? Not very good, okay?
Yes.
That's why he bounced around and ended up in Green Bay.
I know. But the thing is, you see Mac Jones. You see this kid Willis. You see these guys that are probably Darnold. They're probably getting coached. They're going somewhere else. And voila! I'm not saying they're the best of the best, but if you're drafting Mendoza and he's going to be, you better make sure that you're coaching him the right way. That's all I'm saying. And if you're taking him, he better be in there the first day. I'm not paying season tickets to see Tyler Perry or whatever Taylor coming in there and starting off. All right, thanks for taking the call, man.
You say Tyler Perry? I'm not sure who you said there at the end. But what I think we should look at, Dan.
How many games are you winning with Tyler Perry as your quarterback? Seriously. And by the way, can I just say this while Artie was on the phone? Because there was a lot happening with that phone call, like on the field and off the field. I think, I don't know if Ray saw this. Maybe he had a glimpse of it from his angle. I think it's probably easier to build a Super Bowl contender from scratch than it was for Jordan to find a way to open up his container of fruit. Like you were struggling. He's sitting there like, it was like he was trying to put a Rubik's Cube together.
I was hoping you
Are
would
we
see
good?
that.
He finally got it open. Like, my God, it was easier to escape from Alcatraz than to get that damn fruit thing open.
I couldn't
If
figure
the
it
camera
out.
was a little more zoomed out, we probably could have gotten
Hold
it.
up the
My
fruit.
fault.
Show the fruit container. I mean, it shouldn't be that impossible. I know. You look for the tab. You rip it open. Yeah.
It was like inside. I don't know how to explain it. It was just I couldn't figure it out.
That's a good fruit selection, by the way. I like all those fruits in there.
Yeah.
Little cantaloupe, little grapes. Do we have pineapple?
There
the
is.
pineapple.
Man, and I go for it on fourth down.
What? I was trying to find the Don saying, I'm a man.
I was like,
Yeah,
is that like Ogre Don or something?
Don had a good rant yesterday.
I'm all man, and I go for it on fourth down.
Is that like a Dan Campbell?
No, he's going after Kafka, actually.
Oh, Kafka.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like Mike Kafka, though. Does he get angry? Does he sound like an ogre at times?
Listen, you're lucky you score a point. You suck.
Wow.
Mike Kafka took a lot of shrapnel yesterday, and I know, much of it was deserved. But.
What was Artie talking about again?
So here's what I have to say. Artie he went all over the place. Now,
yeah.
Aaron Glenn has to take responsibility. Like, you're right. It was his hire. If it's not his scheme, I think that's a good point. Like, then that's your fault. Why are you hiring somebody who's going to run not your scheme and then bring him in and then have no essential oversight and be like, hey, it wasn't me? I know he didn't say that, but that's kind of what we were insinuating before.
Well, the reason that Steve Wilks ended up being the guy because, A, he wanted somebody as a first-time head coach one of his coordinators to have head coaching experience because he wanted to be a quote-unquote CEO head coach. I think that it was important because Aaron Glenn talked about this, I think even at his introductory press conference. It's almost like he was insulted by the stigma that just because you're a defensive coordinator, you're a defensive-only coach, and that's all you – like he didn't want to have the Rex Ryan label. Because like when Rex was a head coach, you could tell all he cared about was the defense. He wasn't even watching the field when the offense was on it. He was just like, you're worrying about the defense. He did not want to be that guy, Aaron Glenn, so he's like, all right, I'm going to hire a guy to run the defense who's been a head coach before. I don't got to worry about him on that side of the ball so I can be the surveyor of everything. But unfortunately, they ran into some problems.
I think as a head coach, though, like that's part of the thing. Like I always say this.
Yeah.
Your most important hire when you're a head coach is the other side of the ball.
Correct.
Right? Because if you're Aaron Glenn, you spent your whole life playing defense and coaching defense. You're going to hire an offensive coordinator who likely, is basically your offensive head coach, right? Who has experience and has ran offense, has done it his whole life, right? Then you're Aaron Glenn, or you're the head coach who has basically no experience coaching that side of the ball. You're going to go and tell the guy who has 20, 30 years of experience on the offensive side of the ball, do this, do that. And that guy's going to be like, what? So you have to have full confidence in that person to basically run the show. But that's not the case on defense. You're a defensive guy. You shouldn't just hire someone and be like, okay, you go do your thing and run your defense. Like, to me, that's a mistake. Now, hopefully he learns from it. It's obviously not a fireable offense. I would never say, like, oh, you need to get rid of him. He's been there 1 year. But you sure do hope he learns from that.
Quick timeout. When we come back, we have a lot of stuff to do. We're going to play some CMT. We'll also hear the comments that Mike Tannenbaum made about Fernando Mendoza, which was part of Artie's phone call there, plus the rest of your calls on the football. We'll have Matt Miller coming up at 8:30 today. We still got to get into the baseball with the Mets making another big trade yesterday. Dan and Jordan for DNR right here on ESPN New York.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games are the perfect gift for everyone on your list.
Like me, your Aunt Jules. I told you I didn't need a gift this year, but I secretly really want one.
Or me, your neighbor Frank. I hope you didn't forget I'm coming to your holiday party tonight.
Or me. Why does no one ever think of the voiceover guy? Anyway, New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games have more winners and top prizes up to $5,000. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
The holidays are here, and Amazon Pickup is your MVP of package pickup. Need that perfect gift like a brand new jersey for the big game? With Amazon Pickup, you can grab your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule at no extra cost. It's fast, it's easy, and it keeps your holiday surprises tucked safely away. So whether you're running from work or heading to the holiday party, Amazon Pickup makes holiday shopping worry-free. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN. 1 free year of Perplexity Pro and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on October 2nd, 1993, when the University of California faced a 30-0 halftime deficit to Oregon. Cal went on a remarkable 42-11 run in the second half to capture a 42-41 victory, one of the largest comebacks in college football history.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Progressive knows there's so many great things about being a sports fan. Like scoring the company box seats. How great is that? Trick plays that actually work. Prevent defense when your team is winning by a lot. And even more preventative prevent defense as they're hanging on by a thread. And of course, saving money when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's pretty great. Just like trick plays that actually work.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
Complaining about sports. Not so great. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wendy here. If you're looking to add a star player to your financial roster, you should take a look at SoFi's personal loans. SoFi's got some amazing moves that would be a valued addition to any team, like low fixed rates when you consolidate your debt, no fees required, and as soon as same-day funding. View your rate at SoFi.com/roster to get started. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply at SoFi.com/roster. NMLS 696891.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
What was that, like the sleepy version, Ray? It seems like it's like slowed down.
It's what I had available in here.
Wake up, Ray. Wake up back there, Raymond.
You know, you used to be able to do that. I'm old enough.
Raymond.
Like they had the record players back in the day. You could like slow it down and it was like, and you thought that was the funniest thing when you were like 10. Anyway, game time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because you know what? When it's game time, it's Tully time. Tonight at 6 o'clock, you got St. John's hosting Harvard. How about that? 7 p.m., Rangers in D.C. to take on the Capitals. That's going to be a 10:50 vehicle tonight with pregame at 6:30. Islanders will host the Devils. Nets are in Philadelphia to play the 76ers. Then at 8 o'clock p.m., the Knicks will visit the T-Wolves in Minnesota. Pregame right here on ESPN 880 begins at 7:30. That is Game Time, brought to you by Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Artie in Brooklyn, when he called before, mentioning Fernando Mendoza and the quarterbacks and all this other stuff, he brought up the Mike Tannenbaum statement. And this was him talking about Fernando Mendoza, Jaxson Dart, the conundrum the Giants could be facing. And here's what Mike T had to say.
If the Giants have the first pick, why would you not take Fernando Mendoza? I'm just telling you, like, when you watch that Ohio State game, if you're running an NFL franchise and you're saying, give me the checklist of what I need to evaluate a quarterback, you saw that in the Ohio State game, Jake. You saw an NFL defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, 3 Super Bowl rings. You probably saw conservatively 4 or 5 first-round picks and other 5 or 6 draftable players on that Ohio State defense. He physically got rocked, and he beat them. And they won the Big Ten championship for the first time in 1967. So if you and I are running an NFL team, and one of the indices we're looking for is somebody that has the ability to lead, to make all the throws against the best competition in the world, and have mental and physical toughness to accomplish something greater than himself. So to me, how in the world could any team who may need a quarterback pass him up?
I mean, valid points, but...
Well, what was the last little thing he said there?
If any team that needs a quarterback.
Any team that needs a quarterback. So if you're the Giants and you're convinced you don't need a quarterback, then why would you fall into that category?
Agreed.
Now, look, I was on that show, and so we had the conversation back and forth. And what I said was, it's sort of like the what's the saying is, and Mike finished it because I couldn't remember. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Mm-hmm.
You know, meaning like it's better to hold on to something you already have than risk losing it by chasing the unknown.
Well, how much, a lot of it is brought upon, okay, what does the new coach think, whoever the new coach is going to be, new GM. But I'm old enough to believe that I was, told that the Giant job was going to be the most attractive in the NFL because of Jaxson Dart, right? So then if you're taking this job based upon the Giants have an option already in-house at quarterback, then you're not looking to draft another quarterback, right? I mean, so I think the two don't have to coexist. I mean, that's just what I've been told for months. From the minute it was apparent that Brian Daboll was going to be shown the door, well, whoever takes over, this is going to be appealing, despite the fact the Giants have only 2 wins because you have Jaxson Dart.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think maybe some of that has come off a little bit in recent weeks. He suffered a concussion. He hasn't played great. But I still think there's enough people who are going to come in and be like, I can work with that guy.
Well, here's a question I think we'll have from Matt when we have him on. And we're going to have Matt Miller on coming up at 8:30. Okay? Let's say Jaxson Dart and Fernando Mendoza were in the same draft. Who gets drafted first? Who's rated higher? Right? I mean,
but there's also the unknown with Fernando Mendoza that factors into, we know Jaxson Dart could play at the NFL level. How does it translate for Fernando Mendoza? And I was a big pocket passer guy forever,
sure,
but the game has changed.
Right.
You have to be able to run around and create time. That's part of, you have to be so good. Who's the only basically stationary quarterback who's really good in the NFL these days? I would say probably Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of anybody else who even fits that category? And I don't think Fernando Mendoza is of that caliber. Definitely not as a prospect, at least to me. It's hard to be successful that way. I'd be a little concerned about that. I'm not saying I don't like him as a prospect. I probably have to watch him a little more, but that does concern me. You got to be able to create stuff with your legs in today's NFL.
RJ, would you consider your guy to be a quote-unquote mobile quarterback?
Yeah, I would consider yes. I would if I had to make a call.
I think he's not a runner, but he's a guy who runs around behind the line of scrimmage to create time.
Well, that's what you need as a quarterback.
That's mobile enough.
Do we think Fernando Mendoza could do that at the NFL level? I think it's a question.
It's a question because he's got to do it.
What'd you say, Ray?
He's going to have to.
Oh, of course he's going to have to, but my point is I don't think – and here's why I'm kind of in the camp of, yes, I think he'll be able to do that, because I don't think you get to this point. It's the quarterback of Indiana, okay, undefeated, the number 1 team in the country in the quarterfinals of the college football playoff if you have not shown at least that ability in some way, shape, or form. I know it's not the NFL yet, but as Mike was just talking about, we all watched the game against Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship. Ohio State's got the best defense in the country. They got pros. Not just 1 or 2. They got a handful of pros on that side of the football. And I know that he didn't go out there and throw for 300-400 yards and light them up. I get all that stuff. But he went out there, he took a beating, and he won the game. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, isn't it?
So you see, and Mike said this, you said this, everyone's harping on that game.
Yeah.
Not the problem, but the big thing here is there's going to be more games like that now with the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So if he goes out there and doesn't play like that and doesn't win and doesn't crush it, people are going to, the narrative around him is going to change. So the only way we're sitting here having the same conversation is if he goes out there and basically crushes it in the college football playoffs.
You know what's interesting? I think that the days, because you were talking about pocket passers. I think the days of the pocket passer are exclusively pocket, are almost gone.
That's why I think there's a little concern. I understand. And look, I used to, you go back to young Jordan 20 years ago. That's what he would say. You need a guy who just stands in the pocket and throws. You don't want a guy to run around the field. But the reality of the game is you're going to be under intense pressure, and you're going to have to, especially on third downs, be able to move around, create your own space in order to then make throws. It's not running for big plays. I don't think that's necessary. It's a great thing if you can. But if you can't create time and space in the pocket and in the backfield and avoid pressure and then make big plays downfield that way, I don't know if you can be as successful as the best quarterbacks in the game.
But here's the thing, and here's why I'm willing to wager a guess, okay? Because I understand different skill sets, but I even said it to you, I don't remember if it was on the air or off the air. Aaron Rodgers in his prime, okay, obviously was as good as there is. I know that Aaron Rodgers was mobile and he can run for yardage and all that stuff, but what made Aaron Rodgers so good is that he did not even have to leave the pocket. His footwork was immaculate. And Aaron Rodgers looked like he was under duress. And in his best days, all he had to do was take 1 or 2 steps to the left, to the right, backward, forward, whatever, create a whole new throwing lane for himself, and then fire a dart right down the field and hit an open receiver or a guy that he got the football to. Like, the little intricacies of that, to where it's not like you're making highlight plays. It's not going to be on ESPN or anything like that, but just the nuances of playing the quarterback position. That's what anybody will tell you what made him so good. And so if you're Mendoza, if you can just get that part of the game down, and I'm not saying he doesn't have it already, but I'm saying master that to succeed on this level. And, oh, by the way, Jordan, Fernando Mendoza is also, what is he, 6'5"?
He's big and strong.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
so
has
like,
a good arm.
If he gets the footwork part down, he's tall enough to see over the damn line, to be able to find these windows. And I think that's what makes him, when you add it all together, such an intriguing prospect.
Fernando Mendoza outside the pocket. 68 dropbacks, all 68 play action. 45% completion percentage, not great. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. 2 big plays, 2 20-plus yard plays out of that. So, okay, clearly not great.
Not great. I mean,
not his strength.
Not his strength also, but remember, is that his career or is it
this season?
This season?
I'm only doing this season.
I mean, how many of his the wide receivers going to the pros? Like his guys in Indiana, you know what I mean? Like, let's say he can escape the pocket or whatever. He could find a guy, he could hit him right in the hands, and what if he doesn't catch the ball? I have to go back and watch
every
them.
time I'm watching that Charlie, what's his name? Charlie Becker? He's the wide receiver.
Yeah,
the
one who made the freaking catch.
I mean, he's jumping over people's heads for him and catching the ball on top of people's heads. So
incredible.
I mean, it's not like they're struggling.
But no, like to your point though, I mean, look, we all grew up watching football in the days of the quote unquote pocket passer, the statuesque type guy who's just going to go back there, see over everybody. Well, think about Peyton Manning. Why was it once upon a time going into that draft, Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf were essentially like coin flips as to who would be the number 1 pick? Because Ryan Leaf was like 6'5", 6'6". Yeah. He was literally like a freaking, almost like a Greek god back there. Like he was built like you would want a quarterback to be built.
Neither of them can move at all, though.
But you didn't have to
back
then. You know what I mean? Like they didn't expect you to back then.
You mentioned Aaron Rodgers. Young Aaron Rodgers could move and create time.
Oh, I understand that.
He did run when he needed it, and I think that's
But he was so
the preferred
He
prototype
was so
these days.
good. Like with the footwork, he didn't even have to take off as much because he could find ways to throw the football even from the pocket.
You know who taught him the footwork?
Who's that?
Ben McAdoo.
It's true.
Seriously, Ben McAdoo, that was his job, is to teach. Like the whole first year is to build him up strength-wise and to build and work on his footwork.
Is he in the league?
Yeah.
Where's he now?
Patriots.
Ben's with the Patriots?
Mm-hmm.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm. So
he was an offensive consultant for McCarthy with the Cowboys, and I believe that
it was kind of so. Now the new thing is he works on he did this for McCarthy. He does this for the Patriots. These guys work on the defensive side of the ball. But their job is to, because they have the offensive knowledge, so they're basically bringing, okay, here's how the offensive side would attack you on this defense.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
And he was successful with McCarthy doing that in Dallas, and he's now successful with the Patriots doing that in New England.
Let's say hi to Ira in Staten Island up next year on the ESPN New York. What's up, Ira?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. And Dan, I missed you on Sunday. EA did a good job, but you and Buddle have the premier team going. So
you know what? I needed a week away from Greg, and I asked the Jets. I was like, please, 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 can you just get me away from him for a week? No, I'm kidding, Ira. No, it was a fun trip, and EA did a great job. And but Greg and I will be back on Sunday.
Good. Look forward to it. Happy holidays to both of you.
Same to you, Ira.
And two things. I want to touch on the Jets and their structure. But as for the quarterbacks that you were just discussing, in today's NFL, to be honest with you, as much as I'd be happy to get Mendoza, I think Jaxson Dart has more of an upside, and so does Dante Moore, because of the way the game is played and because there's no more statue quarterbacks. But, with the Jets, and the reason that they've struggled, and you want to say some bad coaches, they didn't draft well, I get all of that. It still goes down to an organizational setup with the business side and the football side, and there's too many people that have say that shouldn't have say. I know Aaron Glenn's running the show over there, but the business side still gets involved with football decisions, and that's the problem. That's the way, listen, I respect Woody. If that's how he wants to run his business, God bless him. But at the end of the day, you can't have a successful NFL team when you have people outside the football operations making football or having input on football decisions. And until they change that, they're never going to get this right.
Well, here's the thing, Ira. Let me ask you a question, okay? That might have been how things were done in the past or whatever. You have to give this regime a chance to make their mark, right, and to leave their print. Because, the decisions they made over the summer to re-sign Quinnen Williams or Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, it's unconventional to then 2 months later go and trade one of them after you give them a big contract extension. I don't think that decision was coming from outside the organization, right?
No, true. That's true. But what worries me about this, if Moogie and Glenn don't feel that in the top 5 or top 7 pick that they're in love with a quarterback, what worries me is ticket sales and somebody or people stepping in and saying, listen, you must draft a quarterback because we have to make a splash because we have to sell tickets. And that's what concerns me about this upcoming draft.
I don't think that's necessarily a problem, Ira, and I'll tell you why. I thank you for the phone call. I don't know if anybody, and look, I don't know who's in whose ear, right? But I think they realize, I'm talking about the football people. They've watched this season, and it's not been pretty given the quarterback situation. So I think they're going to make sure that they find a way to get a guy in here who they think they can have success with, whether it's with the draft, a guy who's on another team, somebody who's going to give them more than a fighting chance here. And oh, by the way, I mentioned before to you about the Giants, how like the Giants aren't just a player away. Neither are the Jets. I think it's obvious. Neither are the Jets, right? Because that roster, they've taken a sledgehammer to it. So the guys that were here prior to Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji showing up, they've gotten rid of a lot of those guys. So, yes, you still need a quarterback, and that's the most important position. But in addition to that, you got to round out the rest of this group. I mean, look at the defense. Right? You can have prime Peyton Manning walk in the door day one next year, like MVP caliber Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. You're not going to win a lot of games given the way that defense is looking right now. So there's work to do.
Yeah, actually, so I was actually talking to an executive from another team, a very successful.
Does he wear a tie?
Just because he's an executive?
Yeah. Sounds very formal, right?
Where did that come from?
That's what executives do.
I mean,
very
not in the
proper.
NFL. This is the NFL.
No, I know. A lot of them look like schlubs.
These guys wear warm-up pants.
I know.
And what he was saying was, and it's really his overall philosophy. He's just a friend of mine, and we've talked about this in the past. And it's that you build up when you don't have a guy who's just an absolute star quarterback. And the reality is most of these guys are not, right? Just there's only a few guys in the league that fit that category, right? Like a handful of guys. And if you don't have one of those guys, the absolute Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrows, like the top of the top of the top, the best way to roster build and team build is to build up the team around him so you have a lot of pieces around him. And then he can have success. Like, what was the caller's name before who brought up like Sam Darnold and Geno Smith and all these other quarterbacks like Malik Willis?
That was Artie.
Sorry, Artie, forgetting him. What do all those teams have in common, right? They have good players. They have a good system. They have a good supporting cast around them. Like, you can get decent quality quarterback play when you have a quarterback who's above average / good and not one of these great quarterbacks if you have the right structure around him. Whereas when you have Justin Fields who probably isn't even in that category, and then on top of that,
you all right?
Yeah, I might die here.
Do you want some water? You got a liquid or something? RJ,
no,
he might choke to death. Ray?
What do you need? The Heimlich?
I don't know.
He's in a
No, we're good. We're good.
I'll pour some water down your throat. You okay?
Those guys have.
No, this is not
deeply
good.
concerned
it's
right now.
It's not good.
Listen, this
give me your fruit bowl. I will pour water in the fruit bowl. You can drink it out of it.
This long 55-minute segment. It's not for everyone. There's no way to get ready for this.
As you can
Are
see,
you okay? Try.
As you can see, it's a lot.
He
for
just
some
drank.
people.
He just drank melon juice out of a fruit plastic container that he couldn't get open 30 minutes ago. Are you all right?
That's one of the wildest things I've seen.
I'm going to go get him a cup.
That did not involve a Rick DiPietro.
Nope. We're back. We're back.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary.
I'm back. The fruit juice has brought me back to life. I'm back.
He left
here.
anyway.
Dan's
this
gone.
just happened.
Dan's gone.
This just happened.
There's no way to get ready. So when we go from 7:30 all the way to 8:25, this is like when you're out there for, summer sessions. There's no way to get ready for this.
Is this like the equivalent of like when I had the seizure on air, according to Rick?
I think this is beyond that at this point.
Hey, Rick and Dave come back. Hey, how was the show? Well, Jordan didn't make it.
You got over that at some point,
Jordan didn't make it. He didn't survive.
Dan just left the studio. He abandoned you.
Jordan didn't survive.
He's back.
He's back in the studio now, so we've got some semblance of normalcy now.
All right,
as
back.
Dan proceeds to sit back.
I
in
didn't
his
need
chair.
this because the fruit juice revived me. There's a reality.
I don't know that running out into the kitchen to grab some water was necessary. We could have sent Jefferson or something. I don't know. I don't know that we needed the driving host to.
But Jefferson didn't get up. It's not like he cared.
Jefferson
was willing to sacrifice Jordan. I wasn't willing to do that.
Jefferson's too concerned with looking at possible playoff matchups for the Jags. He has no interest in saving Jordan, not even a little.
I mean, it would make for good show content if I didn't make it through the show,
I mean, it'd be good, like a short term.
Yeah, but I got
Jordan passed on the first day. It would
probably be the highest viewership we've ever had on YouTube. Watch as Jordan Raanan passes away from choking on his breakfast.
Well, selfish reasons too. I wanted to make sure that Jordan made it to 10 o'clock because I didn't feel like doing the second half of the show by myself.
That would have been a lot for
you. Also, don't want that on your shoulders, like you're the one who was working with Jordan when he passed,
right? And then I'd have to answer questions as to what did you see? I mean, did he show any signs of suspicious activity and so on?
They'd be questioning you for hours.
Right, like I did it.
Would you put in my fruit when I went to the bathroom?
That would have been on Wawa's shoulders. That's what that would have been on.
The fruit juice, by the way, revived me. Deep down
by the freaking way, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dan.
Let's not bury the lead here.
You're a good
welcome.
guy.
I saved you for crying out loud.
Even though I called you an old man like 5 minutes into the show. But
what were we talking about, by the way, before he almost died?
We were talking about the teams that have these quarterbacks who aren't great quarterbacks. If that superstar quarterback doesn't exist, building up the infrastructure around them so that they can have success. Like, look at the Sam Darnolds, the Malik Willises, all these guys that step in, the Geno Smith when he was in Seattle.
Right.
Like, the common theme there is that they have a good supporting cast and structure around them. Whereas when you're the Jets here, you did not have that for Justin Fields.
Correct.
And you still don't have that for whoever the next quarterback is. And that's the whole point, is you have to build that up.
And then we're going to get into the whole, remember, different ways to skin a cat. Well, if you draft the guy, should you start him from day one? Should you bring in a veteran and let the rookie watch for a couple of weeks and blah, 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 blah. Right? I mean, you're going to, because there's no exact science. If there was, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
And everybody would have success.
What you do have for the Jets, and you would hope, is that they have the key pieces for a solid offensive line for that young quarterback. What you do need to add, unequivocally 100%, are weapons.
Sure.
You cannot have this young quarterback have Garrett Wilson get hurt. Let's say he pulls a hamstring next year and misses 2 games. Who are you throwing to?
Right.
Mason Taylor cannot be your number one receiver. And they have no receiver.
Right.
I can't have that.
Well, and the 2 trades again, like the 2 guys that Muji got mid-season, like John Mechie, Adonai Mitchell. Those guys are at least part of your top 4. I think next year at wide receiver, they're going to have to go out and get another wide receiver, probably a legit number 2.
High-end receiver.
Yeah, so a legit number 2 at least, whether that's draft, whether that's free agency, trade, whatever it is, you add him to the mix. I mean, think about this. Like, Breece Hall, for example. Okay, I remember, doing the prep for games or whatever. This was 2 games ago. Breece Hall is only 130-something yards away from his first 1,000-yard rushing season. Guess what? He's still 40-something yards away because in the last 3 games, he's only run for 70 yards because guess what? You got Brady Cook as your quarterback. And opposing defenses are going to put 85 people in the box and say, okay, I dare you to throw the ball. There's nowhere for Breece Hall to run. So we're still on 1,000-yard watch with 2 games left in the season because they just can't get anything going on the ground.
Are you done thinking he's a super high-end player, though?
Who, Breece Hall?
Yeah.
No, not. I'm not. Well, is he LaDainian Tomlinson? In his best days?
Is he a Pro Bowl player?
In the right situation, I think he's extremely talented.
He's not all-pro player.
Probably not, no. I mean, if you never had 1,000-yard season
he's not going to be Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, last year.
No, but
at that level, Christian McCaffrey, these are the best running backs in the league, right?
No, but I just want to see him have a year where you've got a legit quarterback, You got legit weapons. The offensive line, at least, is in one piece, and let's see what he can do. Oh, and by the way, a coaching staff that utilizes him properly.
Because my thing is usually running backs can overcome bad teams. Like when you're a really good running back, you still shine. I don't know. It's just been a pedestrian couple years for him, it just seems.
There's some head-scratching moments. I'll give you that. Yeah. But again, like, and by the way, is he going to have that opportunity here? Like, will he be back? Don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Well, that's what it comes down to. That's what I'm asking.
Unfortunately for him.
Do you really want to pay him?
Well, he's not going to get like the earth, the moon, and the stars.
He's going to get a decent contract. Do you want to pay him?
Well, I'd run it back.
Now, they have a ton of money, so I think they probably should.
I think they'll find a way. I think they will find a way to come to an agreement. That's my personal belief. By the way, and this is important. You're listening to DiPietro and Rothenberg on WHSQ, WCBS FM HD2 New York on this fine Tuesday. You ready for a little CMT?
Absolutely. This is what I came here for today.
This is why you woke up?
This is why I came here.
It's why you lost your license, all that stuff. RJ.
I almost died for this.
Will you do the honors, my friend?
Sure.
To Cuddle. I'm servicing 3 times as many people as he's able to get to.
To marry. Not everyone can afford to take off work and pay whatever it costs to get a foursome.
Or to trash.
Let the wild rumpus begin.
That.
Want a meat stick?
Is the question.
And we're going to get to some of the issues that Jordan has encountered just this morning. There's a long list.
This has got to be one of the more eventful projects you've ever done, Jordan. You almost died. You spent an entire first segment calling people out.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
We're going to get to that. But
got to bring the fire.
Before we do, so a lot of talk now about the coaching carousel as it begins to turn. Already a couple of openings. But the most fascinating part of this is the list of coaches who have been in one place. A couple of these have accomplished a ton. And jobs that could come open. Maybe a parting of the ways, I think is the new parlance of the times of what we say. So I'm going to give you 3 coaches. You tell me which is most likely to be out. Not which one you would get rid of, but which of these coaches are most likely to not return to their team next year. Would that be Mike Tomlin with the Steelers? Off that nice win against the Lions. Would it be John Harbaugh with the Ravens? Not going great. Or would it be Todd Bowles, who I know we're down on now, but a couple of wins late in the year. Nice Week 18 win against the Panthers. Could change the way we look at everything. Bowles, Harbaugh of the John variety, and Tomlin.
Todd used some colorful language in his post-game a couple of weeks ago.
That, I thought of you when that happened.
Thursday night.
It brought me back to a dark time in my life where I thought I might be fired because we ran out.
I remember that.
We nearly ran out of delay because out of nowhere, Todd Bowles went on a cursing tirade.
Because I remember hearing about that the next day.
Did you get called into the office?
No, we didn't. Nothing went wrong.
He said, hey, you heard about what happened with Todd Bowles the other day. He cursed so many times they ran out of delay.
We ran out of delay, and we just turned his press conference off on our airwaves when we had the Jets. And I looked at Dan and I said, I just need you to talk. Say anything.
So that's one way to do it. The coach could just curse up a storm like to start, and then the radio and then TV probably would have to just get out.
There was a guy, RJ, you remember, why am I blanking on his name? The guy in Miami that sometimes, remember back in the day where like Marty would do one-on-ones with people?
The pregame?
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy that he would always interview down there who
Jeff, what was his name? No. Oh, and I'll figure it out. Go ahead.
Joe Rose?
Yeah. Good
Joe
call.
Rose, colorful character, right? So Marty would sit there and interview these guys, and they knew, they played and all that stuff. So, like, Joe would use some language that, he thought was kind of funny, and if you're shooting the you-know-what with somebody, you might be able to, get away with have a few laughs or whatever. But, like, he thought that, like, that stuff was, like, playable on the air.
It's the only pregame interview I ever had to monitor.
Like the Flyers announcer?
Well,
yeah,
exactly.
Along the same lines. Yeah.
But anyway, so those would be pre-recorded. And then they would be fed back to RJ or whatever, and RJ would have to sit there and take a sledgehammer to it and clean it up and make sure it was presentable on the air. And I remember, RJ said to me once, he was like, "It's just so funny to me how like he actually thinks that like the stuff he's saying is going to make it onto the air because it's not."
Well, one time
the Flyers were in town this past weekend, by the way, and I was told by reliable people those are normal conversations off the air.
Oh gosh.
Well, one time, so Joe Rose had such.
Can't imagine the conversations out of the arena.
He had such a good punchline that he was so proud of it that so it's recorded because they're down on the field. and we play it closer to kickoff. And he had such a good punchline that Marty, because sometimes when the interviews play, they'll go talk, do their thing. He was waiting for it, and I had to edit it out. And he actually got a hold of me from the stadium. He's like, "Where'd it go?" I was like, "Marty, I don't know how to tell you this. We're all going to get fired if we air that."
That's great.
That's what I mean. It's fantastic.
But anyways, so Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, and Todd Bowles, which are most likely, not which do you think, which are most likely to part ways with their teams?
So let me get this straight real quick. I don't know if I'm going first, but the
Dan,
one you
we'll go
marry,
Dan
the one you
first.
marry here is the one you think is most likely to
Correct.
Be out.
And then
out.
and then the Cuddle would be 2, and then Trey.
Okay.
Should I go
Dan,
first?
You go ahead, Dan.
All right. I'm going to actually marry, just because I don't like the way things are trending right now, I'm going to marry our friend Coach Bowles. Gladys, yeah. I will cuddle John Harbaugh. And I will trash Mike Tomlin. I just don't think Tomlin and the Steelers are going to quit each other. I just don't. And this season has been really, really disappointing for Baltimore on a variety of levels, but in a unique way. I mean, Baltimore's had seasons where they didn't make the playoffs, obviously, under John Harbaugh, but this one is just, I don't know. They're almost at like a crossroads. You know what I mean? And I think, to me, like, Harbaugh and Tomlin are almost in like the same vein in the sense that, my God, you've been in someplace for 20 years. It's an established program. Like, teams would die to have this type of consistency for 2 decades. But, sometimes they kind of come to like a mutual parting of the ways, and maybe they think it's the best thing for both.
All right. Well, mine's going to be very different from yours. I'm going to marry John Harbaugh.
Really?
Yeah. I was actually talking to someone yesterday who
Is this an executive?
kind of knows. No, he doesn't wear a tie.
Okay.
He doesn't wear a tie, so he can't be an executive.
Polo?
No, probably sweatsuit kind of guy.
Love a good sweatsuit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the in thing. Kids just wear sweatpants and sweatshirts to school all day. So I'm marrying John Harbaugh here. I think that there's going to be a divorce there. He won't get fired. It'll be a mutual splitting, but apparently the owner might be ready to move on there. That's kind of what I heard through the
Talking about
grapevine.
Steve Bisciotti.
Steve Bisciotti, yep. And by the way, if that happens, the Giants, absolutely, that should be their number one priority to try and get John Harbaugh in. He's an excellent coach, really good track record. Like, absolutely would want that. But just, sometimes it's time to separate, and I think that's the case there. I would cuddle Mike Tomlin only because I see it kind of ending poorly there probably for them. And this might be a Mike Tomlin decision. You know what? Maybe it's time to just step away and take a year off. Like, I could see him getting to that point. And then I'm going to trash Todd Bowles. I think he's had success there. I know this year has gone completely off the rails, but I think he probably gets another year. They've generally been a pretty patient organization. You have to like what he's done overall so far. So I think he stays, and I think that's why I have him as trash.
This game plan, execution.
I think that's the press conference in question from RJ.
What PTSD.
And I love Todd Bowles. But, I mean, here's the thing, though. And they've won divisions, but they've won horrible divisions. He was 8-9, 9-8, 10-7, and then this year, at the most, you're winning 9 games. So it's not like they've had, and I know that injuries.
So
have
where's the
stunk
bad? That's not terrible. They haven't been a loaded team.
But it's a horrible division, and you haven't advanced. My point is
you
like
think
you're kind of
ownership
stuck in the
saying
mud.
that though?
I think
our division's terrible. No, ownership doesn't come up with excuses like that.
I think every year the Buccaneers are kind of always in this position late where it's like, oh boy, are they going to miss the playoffs? And then Todd Bowles' job is in danger, and they end up winning the division anyway.
But I don't think his job is actually in danger. I think it's always just outside talk.
I'm with you. I think he's right on schedule right now. I fully expect the Buccaneers to somehow win these next 2 games and win the division.
But it's just
I've been saying that for 6 weeks.
But
though,
are you
and
getting? But my thing
lose
is
every
like,
single week.
Some, like you said, like the owner in Baltimore might feel like, okay, I want to do something different. But in Tampa, you could be sitting there saying, like, are we actually getting better? Like, I just don't want to be a team that wins a horrible division each year, and then we have no chance of being taken seriously as a championship contender.
Chip Ahoy cookies and fat-free milk.
Like, you watched that game on Thursday night against the Falcons a couple of weeks ago. I'm watching that game, and especially the clinic both of those coaches were putting on in the fourth quarter. I'm like, both of these teams might have new coaches next year.
It was not great football.
It wasn't great.
It's hard to feel good about where the Falcons are at. I know the Kirk Cousins giving them a little shot in the arm, but
Again, this is why I don't think Todd Bowles is actually in real serious danger.
All right.
I could be wrong.
We'll see.
So
I hope not. I love the guy, but
so let's talk about the other end of coaching.
Yeah.
Coach of the Year candidates.
Ooh.
By the way, I want to give he won't be on this list. Special shout out to my guy Kyle.
He should be.
I don't think he will be, but
you got a lot. But the problem is you've got so many qualified candidates this year.
Yeah. So
he's won it before, right?
No.
Really?
Never even come close. So I'll take my bias out of it, and I will give you 3 candidates.
I can't I think it's hard to even narrow this list down to 3. You know what I mean?
Who right now would you pick to win Coach of the Year?
They're all going to be first-year guys, right?
Would it be Liam Cohen with the Jags?
Well, Vrabel's got to be on.
Would it be Mike Vrabel with the Pats? Or would it be Ben Johnson with the Bears? Kyle, I'd vote for you. They don't give me a vote.
Go ahead. You're first.
Well, see, that's why these words, like, it's always like, oh, who's did better than we expected, not who actually did the best job. And same with kind of like the MVP in most leagues. So that's the case here. I'm just filibustering.
Do you get to vote for anything, Jordan?
No, I do not.
Nothing?
By the way,
no?
Back to what you were saying.
I mean, Pro Football Writers Association awards, but those aren't the AP awards or
they carry
MVP.
That's carry some clout.
Hall of Fame.
But those carry some clout.
Oh, just the Hall of Fame.
No, I said I don't.
No, Hall of Fame is very exclusive. That's a room. That's a.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
I did have a supporter, so Bob Glauber did the. He's
Bob is the guy.
So Bob's out now because he doesn't necessarily work. He retired from Newsday, so he gave up his spot. And I believe, if I remember right, it went to Samini.
Yes,
think,
Rich
right?
is doing it now this year. Yes, I did hear that.
So
yes.
Rich wasn't on there already.
No, so there's only 2.
Gary Myers was.
Yeah, it's Gary. Gary's still there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, yeah, if it's only 2, then
and Glauber, and then so somebody mentioned, I'm gonna put you up for it, but that Bob was actually in the Jets representative
corner.
role.
Yeah, every team has one, right?
Yeah, so it makes sense that he is there. So anyway, back to the question. I'm going to marry Mike Vrabel. You can't underestimate the difference he's made. They went 4-12, and have a chance to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. And overall, I just think he's doing more with a little bit less than Ben Johnson, who I'd probably put as Cuddle. And I'm only trashing Liam Cohen because these are all 3 really good candidates. And I don't know. Their division's still, I know it's better. So questionable. They've kind of been eked by for a while. I don't know. I just haven't been blown away. I guess I'm not fully sold on the Jags yet, even though what they've done is very impressive.
I was with you with Jacksonville, but again, go back and check the resume. They've got as many wins against teams with winning records as in the NFL. They're like either top 1 or 2, and they've been like blowing people out. You know what I'm saying? Like Trevor Lawrence, I think, has sat out parts of the fourth quarter, like 3 out of the last 6 games or something like that. Like he hasn't even had to play because that's how decisive they've been winning. But it's very tough.
Their strength of victory is really good, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
the only one with a better strength of victory in the AFC is the Raiders, but they only have 2 wins.
So that's not saying much.
But those 2 wins.
I'm probably going to say, gosh.
See, it's tough, right?
It's extremely tough. Has there ever been co-coach of the years? Like, has the vote ever come down to, where 2 guys have won coach of the year?
Where Steve McNair and Peyton Manning split the MVP?
That was ridiculous.
I'm going to agree with Jordan and say Vrabel, and here's why. I know that you have Miami and the Jets in the division, but you have a team in Buffalo that a lot of people were saying this is the year. And Buffalo's a good team. And they may win the division. They've already won a game in Buffalo. And to have this turnaround remember, New England was worse than the Jets last year. They were worse. I mean, they were as bad could be. And to
4-12, 4-12 the previous 2 years.
I'll say Vrabel. And then, Cuddle. I'm going to say Chicago because Chicago's been a mess. And by and large, that's a good, even Minnesota being a last place team, Minnesota's not terrible. You know what I mean? They could go out there and still make your life miserable any Sunday. And then I'll trash Liam Cohen, even though he's done a great job. And look, I've said it many times. I was dead wrong about the Jaguars this year. Dead wrong. Because of that. I said, how can that guy be a leader of men? He's a buffoon. But he's done a great job.
There's been some great press conference bounce backs. Him,
Nick Sirianni,
Dan Campbell.
The Dan Campbell one, though, I mean, it was braggadocious, but I don't know if it was as bad as those other 2.
Turns out that's just him.
What's
shots,
the moral of the story?
Explosives. You can
Hire
run.
people that speak like maniacs.
Yeah.
Not what I was thinking, but fair point.
That
Like
one-
lunatics. I mean, it's that those press conferences mean nothing.
That one not going great.
Nothing.
Good.
Joe Judge killed it. Remember, everyone loves Joe Judge's press.
Welcome back. Who drove over here?
That one's not going so well.
Who took the bus?
I didn't take the bus today.
Remember the days when we had the Zoom pressers? Like those were.
But by the way, language got pretty loose on those too. It's
Oh.
like we just decided, you know what? There's no one here to yell at us.
I think that was
let's
the
curse
turn-
on everything.
I think that was a turning point where things were starting to get a little loose around here. Honestly,
It's cursing left and right. Alrighty. So Jordan's had quite the morning. By the way, we are efforting your ID now working. So he's already told us he couldn't get on the floor.
This is the building ID.
Couldn't get in the building because the ID didn't work.
Yeah.
He lost his driver's license. That's one. So ID problems. Number two.
Might just be misplaced.
Number two.
Might not be lost.
Jordan confessed to us that he often misplaces his car, or at least he used to, and would just spend minutes, hours aimlessly looking for it. And he also would drive the wrong way on the turnpike, not in the flow of traffic, but he would just go the wrong way all the time. And also, moments ago, he nearly choked until melon juice revived him. So, Dan,
So my efforts had nothing to do with it. To completely.
you were gone so long.
I think what you did was.
Well, I didn't know where the cups were. I had to go find the.
They're right above the sink.
I think
Okay,
what you did was noble because nobody else moved a muscle.
That's true.
No one.
That's true. I mean, go back and check the tape. You guys couldn't care less.
So
The only one who cared about my life was Dan. Yeah, the other guys, everyone else worried about the show.
It's like their butts were glued to the seats.
Hey, listen. I mean, I'm glad.
Content, huh?
I'm glad you didn't. Had you gone out though, I would have told everyone that's the way you would have wanted to go. With
I don't think that's the way he
melon
wants to
juice
go.
at 8:05.
I don't think that's the way he wanted to go.
But Dan, I ask you.
Yeah.
What are you most concerned about your buddy Jordan to your left there? Would it be the constant misplacing of IDs and just not being able to keep everything straight? Would it be the fact that cars are not his friend? He doesn't know where his car is, and he drives the wrong way all the time. Directions are a foible. Or would it be that, listen, that chair, it comes with a lot of weight. If you're gonna bow up and step up to the plate for that 55-minute segment, you can't choke your way through it. And likely when Rick gets back, he will make fun of him endlessly. So what concerns you the most? IDs, cars, or maybe that chair is just too big.
This is an easy one, at least for the trash. We'll trash the chair. So we don't have to worry about that one. Because, who cares what Rick thinks? Boy. I'll say this. I'm going to marry the cars situation. And here's why. Now, we don't want to see you misplace a car. Forget where it is or anything like that. But there are ramifications, consequences to, if you're driving the wrong way, for example. Maybe there could be somebody innocent that's a pawn in your game, and then they have to deal with the consequences. You get behind the wheel, that's dangerous.
You guys are misinterpreting that.
But it's an interpretation, nevertheless.
It feels like you're not well.
And we'll cuddle the misplacing of certain documents, keys, licenses, IDs, credit cards. Your esophagus not being able to get the melon juice all out of there. That's where I'm going with this one. Marry the cars. Misplacing is going to be our cuddle, and we're trashing the weight of the chair there.
Alrighty. Jordan, your chance to answer. Not this question, a new one.
Oh, okay.
So much discussion. You were on last Friday, so you weighed in on this. About what I would admit is a mishandling of a situation between Dan and I. So we're not going to run from this. We're going to address it straight on.
We haven't even talked about this yet.
Yeah, we haven't. We've done an hour and 2 hours now.
Wow.
So last week at the big brunch, I did what the kids would call hard launch that Angela, my wife, pregnant, expecting our second child. Exciting news. I spoke to Dan on Thursday, which was the day we said it on the show.
Mm-hmm. Friendship skills, it's not a great friendship moment for RJ.
And
Still a great guy, maybe not as great a guy at this moment as we thought he might be.
Dan and I spoke for, what did you say, 9 minutes on the phone?
9 minutes.
And I did not.
But it felt, and you would agree, it felt longer than 9 minutes.
It did. which Dave attacked me for, which I don't think is right. But I did not divulge to Dan one-on-one, which I should have, that there's a second child.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
It was a 9-minute phone call.
Yep.
If that, how much longer would the conversation have had to go minutes-wise for you think the revelation to maybe enter the talk space?
I'd guess 5 to 10.
An extra 5 to 10?
It just never really... I was telling Dave this yesterday, because before you tell everyone, you're keeping it so under wraps, you're not used to telling people.
Right.
And it was it's been an adjustment to speak openly about this. It's like a crime I committed. That the statute of limitations is no longer on the table. I can speak openly now.
He paid the fine and move on. It's removed from his record.
9 minutes is a lifetime in my book. I mean, there's not many phone conversations I'm having more than 9 minutes.
In the car. That's why. So I'm driving.
Doesn't matter. I mean, I'm.
Jordan wants no part of any of this. It's fine.
I'm off calls quick.
So, Jordan, you've been here as witness. You've also accused me of stealing money from the Walt Disney Company, which is troubling. But we're gonna look past that. So, Cuddle Bar Trash, where you think the relationship between Dan and I, the friendship, is at? It's all good. That'd be your first option. This is all overblown. Option 2, it's a little rocky. It's like your friends that are going through a little rough spell in the dating or marriage life, but we're going to make it through. Or you think there's a real fracture here, which we may never recover from.
Well, all good is clearly trash because something happened. We'll have to debate of how serious an infraction it is. But something happened.
Yeah.
There was a full conversation. You made this announcement, but yet you didn't pass it along to your friend. And I do those in air quotes.
Well, and also to support your hypothesis, remember, RJ, some of the subject matters of the 9-minute conversation involved his current child.
Yeah.
The one who's already an established human being. He had a big musical performance the next day, which RJ attended, which was the reason we kind of were talking, because RJ wasn't going to be a part of the show that day.
Right.
So the subject of previous child was already a thing, and there was a soundtrack to our conversation, which was some like child's program in the background, like blah, 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 to where like RJ was giggling because it was kind of uncomfortable because it was like everybody could hear it.
I think you said it was a Bluey vehicle.
Is that what it was?
Sounds right.
Love Bluey.
So it was Little Bluey.
Yeah.
So like we had Antonio, Bluey music, and
bingo.
Yet it didn't register for him to talk about
Bluey,
an infant.
So you're making the case for me.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Rather easy.
Yeah.
To say I have to cuddle Rocky.
Wow.
Right. And go straight to marry fracture. So here's where I see the problem.
So wait a second. Was all good, Rocky, and fracture? Wow.
So there's obviously a fracture here.
So you're saying it's over?
No. It's fracture. A fracture can heal.
Over like years.
You fracture your finger.
Hairline? Does this require surgery or not?
It can heal. But here's the thing. I think it's clear there's a friendship here, right? And this is where the fracture is.
Mm-hmm.
The line is whether it's a real friendship or it's a work friendship. Whereas, hey, we're going to talk, but we're only really going to talk about work.
Work friends versus friends.
So that's where I think we're at right now. There's a fracture between the actual friendship and you're only in the work friendship category.
Wow. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
This is why I didn't get you any water. This is why.
Well, that could be like the new question, right? Like if somebody's choking to death, like are they more inclined to go get the water or just kind of like peek your head up and be like, is there any melon juice laying around to where they can maybe save themselves?
I'm the kind of guy who pretends to press the elevator button. You know what I mean? That's me.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I'm kind of that guy too.
Oh, you kind of wave your, oh no.
Oh, wait.
Sorry.
Yeah. Missed.
Or you pretend you're looking at your phone.
I hit the wrong button.
You didn't see the thing closing. You're like, I didn't see that. So is there an issue? I mean, RJ, so he said is there an issue?
That's for you to answer.
I don't know.
Well, I think RJ, it's something you have to look inside. Is he a real friend to you?
RJ tried to throw it back in my face, but not for nothing. I didn't not tell myself about RJ having another kid.
Listen, I own that a mistake was made. Long term, I do not see an issue, but maybe I'm overlooking the.
See, I think he could say whatever he wants now. It almost doesn't matter. His actions already say you're a work friend.
100%. Now, let's put it this way. I didn't think we were just work associates, but over the last 72 hours or so, however long it's been, I start to maybe get that sense a little bit more.
That's blasphemous.
I start to get like the tingling sensation. And I don't think it's
have
sciatica.
Conversations when you're not working? Like, is that a thing between you two?
There's texts and calls. Yeah, I think so.
Like just, hey, RJ, how you doing today?
How about this? Coming out of COVID, first person, I believe, of anyone, not just people I work with, that had a lunch with back in the city once we were delving back into the world, Dan Graca.
Not a work lunch.
That was
the Brooklyn Diner.
No,
not
I
a work
Brooklyn
not a
Diner.
work lunch. We're talking
not
about.
in Brooklyn, but in the city. No, not a
We're
work
talking
lunch.
just two friends.
Yeah,
going to lunch.
I think this was like late 2020 or 21. Yeah.
Was that?
So what's happened over the last 5 years?
I don't know. I would
that
love
you
to know.
fell into this other category.
So wait, was that the genesis, by the way, of the $20?
Oh yeah, the sending of the $20. I forgot about that.
Did you know that story?
No, I did not know that.
That's a great story.
I forgot about the $20.
I've been reminded about the $20, by the way. This is a great story.
Because Dan usually pays for the meals, and he's a generous guy. He did a couple weeks ago, and so I wanted him because he paid for a couple in a row. And I mean, listen, I know he makes piles of cash, but still, it's incumbent upon me to at least offer. So I told him I was going to send him money. He didn't have. I don't know if he does now, but he didn't have Venmo. So I'm going to.
I do have it now, by the way.
So I'm going to mail you. I'm going to mail you.
You fit my stereotype, man.
I'm going to mail you $20 because I want you. I wanted to pay.
So
for
we're
the tip.
like, it was like this push and pull at the table. And he said, like, I'm going to mail you the $20. And I laughed about it in, like, our sense of humor. And I said, yes. I said, I want you to literally, like, in the mail, put a $20 bill. Lo and behold, like, weeks later or whatever, what shows up at my door? A thing of $20. So what did I do? I'm not accepting your money. I said, I'll pay for the meal. I took the envelope. I knew what was in it. Took the envelope.
Return to sender.
Put it in another envelope. Mailed that back to RJ. Few months go by. RJ took said envelope, put it in an even bigger envelope. We've been playing this game for 4 years. Currently, it's at my domain. And by the way, you can expect something probably early in 2026 once I get around to all the other crap I got going on.
The problem is now because it keeps.
But you know how big the envelope is right now?
The packaging is outsizing the value of what's inside.
You could fit like a small child in this packaging.
It's like a FedEx box, like a full-fledged box now.
It costs more to ship.
Yes.
The $20 than the actual $20. That's how big this has grown.
But anyway, this is where the friendship
it's like the rubber band ball
is, and I hope can get back to. But
yeah, then RJ just dropped the ball here.
We're gonna have to like meet at the post office one day or something.
Clearly, just dropped the ball. Then there's this friendship. You guys have this playful back and forth. You go to lunch dates together. Yet he just conveniently forgot to tell you, hey, by the way, we're having another child.
Listen, I'm not gonna let this man who needs melon juice to survive and can't keep track of his identification or his car. I'm not gonna let you drive a wedge between us.
I mean, Ray, is there something missing here? I mean, it just seems something. It's just something happened.
There's a lot of questions. I think we came in here thinking we'd have answers, and now we have more questions. Sad place to be.
That's it.
I could say with conviction. I know we got to take a break because we got Matt Miller coming up, but I could say from this side of the table, those two gentlemen right there in that room are go above and beyond the work environment as far as my relationship with them, because I've known them forever. I've known Ray longer than I've known RJ.
Well, at least up until the baby thing, but okay.
I mean, listen, you won't even talk to people on the phone, so you can't be trusted.
And if you are on the phone, there's no way you're getting 9 minutes out of the call. You might not even get 9 seconds.
My conversation with my wife on the phone are less like a minute every time.
Mine are like 45.
1 minute.
It's just that opens up a whole other bag of questions. I don't know that we need to get into.
That could have been an option in the Jordan game in the Cuddle Mary trash. Like doesn't want to talk to his wife on the phone. Blah 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 blah. All right.
No, I don't want to talk to anybody on the phone.
This was fun. Good job.
Minutes.
And we'll hear more about the relationship with your wife coming up a little bit later on, or we'll ask Matt Miller about it. Maybe he can offer some advice. Matt Miller's coming up next. We could talk about relationship problems, but more importantly, I think that you're probably more keen to hear about draft prospects coming up here for the Giants and the Jets. Matt joins us next. It's Dan and Jordan right here on ESPN New York. And at 8:31, let's get a check of the roads, and we say good morning to Debbie Duhane.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Jordan. On this Christmas Eve. Good morning, company. Don't forget the license as you leave this morning, and please drive in the right direction on the New Jersey Turnpike and all of our area highways. Let's see what's happening, guys, right now. Inbound George Washington Bridge, a whopping 40 minutes. Lincoln Tunnel, 25. Outbound, 15. Over at the Holland, that's about 20. Troubles on First Ave into 100th. It looks like a garbage truck into some scaffolding in the eastbound belt of Pennsylvania Avenue. It's a collision sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year, and their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393. I'm Debbie Duhame, 880 ESPN, New York.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Boxing is back at Madison Square Garden on Saturday, January 31st for the Ring 6. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. Power meets precision on boxing's biggest stage. This is one fight you won't want to miss. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and watch every round live exclusively on DAZN.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
All right, Dan and Jordan in for DNR here on ESPN New York. Talk a little NFL draft now with one of the greats. It is our good buddy, of course, ESPN NFL draft analyst Matt Miller. And the NFL Draft Report with Matt Miller is brought to you by the Parisman Firm. And Matt joins us now. Matt, Dan, Graca, Jordan Raanan here in New York. Happy holidays, my friend. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for being on, Matt. Biggest Kansas City Royal fan I know.
Huge
also don't
Royals
know
fan.
many Royals fans, but yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know how many Royals fans you know, Jordan, but I will take that honor. I will wear that badge proudly.
You're one of one, Matt. One of one.
He had a good
Agreed.
2014 and a good 2015. And they're trying to get back there.
With Jets and Giants fans, this is how I can relate to you. Because we were good for a minute. trying to get back to it. So as a Royals fan, being a draft analyst, there's a lot of correlation there.
Matt, I got a question for you here. Speaking on the Kansas City thing, from your early investigating, how are the people feeling about the $1.8 billion or whatever in public funding for this new Kansas City Chiefs stadium?
It's very mixed. So for folks who aren't familiar with our geography out here in the Midwest, the Missouri-Kansas border is quite contentious, dating back to the Civil War. Relations haven't gotten a lot better since 1860 out here. So there are people on the Missouri side who are really upset that the Chiefs are moving to Kansas. People on the Kansas side are elated about it. But, this has been, I think, years in the making. It has its ties to legal sports gambling, which Kansas made legal much earlier than Missouri did. So they were able to get some of the public funding for this. And Missouri kind of dragged their feet. And it'll be interesting now to see what does happen with the Royals because of those stadiums being side by side where they are right now. But I think putting a Super Bowl in Kansas City eventually will be something that we'll be looking at. And this will be great for the area.
Yeah, Dan doesn't like the fact that the Chiefs might eventually be playing games indoors.
Yeah, I don't like Matt, I don't like indoor football, and obviously with the Chiefs getting an indoor stadium, it takes away one of the cold weather atmosphere stadiums away from us in the league. I just don't want to see all that go by the wayside.
I'm with you, and it takes away from the fact that you have the loudest stadium in the NFL. It's old, it's outdoors, it's surrounded by a sea of asphalt where you get 40,000 people tailgating before a game. So I think the worry for me is just someone who loves going to football games and watching games will be how do you recreate that environment that has been built? It's hard to do that twice, and it's hard to do it and not make it feel manufactured. So I think that's going to be some of the challenges that they face.
Can we get to the draft here?
Do it.
Let's go. Okay. The Giants might have the first pick. The Jets need a quarterback. Fernando Mendoza is the guy that everyone's mentioning as the top quarterback available. So I'm curious, Matt, if the Giants end up in that spot, the Jets might have to trade up. What kind of prospect are we talking about with Fernando Mendoza? Are we talking about Cam Ward equivalent? Maybe a little less? More? Where do we stand with Fernando Mendoza as a prospect at this point? Still time left to go.
Yeah, I think I like him a little bit more than I did Cam Ward coming out last year. And, we'll see, in August, I'll be able to compare, grade versus grade and see where we're at. With Cam, you loved the mobility, the arm strength, some of the second chance things that he was able to do. With Mendoza, it's really different than that. You're liking a guy because of his poise, his accuracy, the way he layers the ball, the way he operates from the pocket. He's a quick processor. He gives his guys a chance to make plays. That's one of my favorite things about him. If you take time to watch him play, is how well he sets his guys up. The Penn State game, the Ohio State game, that's what he does well. So I hate to make comparisons of guys who went to the same school, but there's a lot of Jared Goff there, just the way that he plays. So I think he'll come out higher than Cam Ward as a prospect. But this isn't a Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Andrew Luck type player that we've been waiting for 3 years. He was really good in 2024. He was obviously great in 2025. He's a really good quarterback, but I don't know that he's going to have the type of physical traits that are going to get people super excited because he's a really accurate, smart quarterback, but he's not going to blow you away with the arm or the legs.
Yeah, from earlier in the year, Matt, when I watched him play, to me, he looks like another Kirk Cousins, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but to your point, I don't know if it's this, transformative prospect that's just going to be once in a generation, which is not necessarily a bad thing, as we know. But, another question that I had about it is, okay, let's say in a perfect world, if Fernando Mendoza and Jaxson Dart were coming into the draft as part of the same class. And the reason I bring this up because, there's this speculation about the Giants and, okay, you have Jaxson Dart, but if you have the number one pick, is it worth trying to maybe take offers for him and elect to go with Mendoza with a new coaching staff? Who do you think would be the more highly regarded prospect? Would it be Mendoza or would it be Jaxson Dart if they were in the same year?
I think it'd be Mendoza. And I'm really encouraged by what Jaxson Dart has done this year. So even if we want to factor in how well he's played as a rookie, the questions on Jaxson coming out last year were how well can he acclimate from that Lane Kiffin offense to the NFL? And I do think there are still times where you see that, which is also some of the reason why he's running so much, because there is a little bit of a struggle to get through the progressions, to get through the reads. And so it's, okay, that's not there. My projection's not great. Let me get out of here, try to make something happen with my feet. With Mendoza, and maybe Mendoza wouldn't have the same level of success with the Giants because he does need to operate from the pocket. Now, he rushed for, I think, 6 or 7 touchdowns this year, so he can get out of the pocket, but it is not like Jaxson Dart. It's not like Cam Ward. He's more, he's 6'5", 225, so he'll be more of a short yardage type runner. But I would take Mendoza just because of the processing and accuracy. I think so many young quarterbacks, that's the struggle right now. And then they're thrown out onto the field and expected to basically learn how to swim on their own. With Mendoza's strength being, from the shoulders up and how accurate he is and how smart he is, I would take him as the prospect over Dart.
With that being said, he's not the only quarterback that could be in this draft, right? We have Dante Moore from Oregon and Ty Simpson from Alabama, who I know you have as top 15 prospects, I believe, right now. How close are those guys to Fernando Mendoza? Can they, in your mind, are there scenarios where, because they're all still playing, where they can that order can change moving forward here?
Yeah, definitely. And I think Dante Moore from Oregon could be the number 1 pick. He could be the first quarterback drafted. That's not a stretch at all, just because of how well he plays. Here's where it gets interesting, though. There's this number, when you talk to NFL scouts, they want a quarterback who's had 25 starts. And you guys are in New York, so Bill Parcells is who started this. The number used to be higher. It's kind of been adapted with how the game has changed. But you want a quarterback who has 25 starts in college. Dante Moore, if Oregon wins the national championship, will have about 18, 19 starts, depending on the run that they make. Ty Simpson at Alabama had never started a game before this year. So he's at 13 right now. That is an issue for both of those players. And you can go back and look. There are not exceptions to this rule. Guys who did not start 25 games in college. I mean, we're talking Mitch Trubisky, Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson, players that were drafted highly and did not work out. So I think the experience factor helps Mendoza. Dante Moore is such an exciting player. And he's carried that Oregon team that's had a lot of injuries at wide receiver. He's played in some terrible weather this year at times, like the Iowa game where, it's raining and the wind's blowing like 40 miles an hour, and he's still making plays. I think Dante Moore is the one that could leapfrog Mendoza just based on upside and then based on what he brings to the table from, a potential standpoint, but then also the way that he produced this year. I think it does give you a little bit more of that excitement factor of, okay, this is a playmaker. This is a quarterback that can go out and change our offense. Mendoza's like a great point guard. He's going to go out. He's going to execute. Things are going to be clean. He's going to distribute. Moore is a little bit more of a playmaker.
How much do you think, Matt, Dante Moore would be helping or hurting his own case by electing to, let's say, come back to school, despite the fact, like you said, he doesn't have that 25 games under his belt? Do you think that it would enhance his draft stock even more with another year under his belt in college? Or do you think that, maybe that it's time for him to take that leap and, go face better competition on the next level?
Yeah, I think there's 2 sides to it. There's always the idea of the NFL will not develop you at quarterback anymore. That's a myth. There's no such thing as being developed at quarterback. So if you don't feel like you're ready mentally, emotionally, whatever that is, right, physically, go back to school. Make your $4 million as the quarterback at the University of Oregon and develop, because the NFL will not do that for you. I think the flip side is you look at guys that we thought were going to be first-round picks this year that aren't. Garrett Nussmeier, Carson Beck probably wasn't in the first round, but he was up there. There's Lenore Sellers is going back to school. Arch Manning's going back to school. So there's 2 sides of that as well. Of 2027 looks like it's going to be absolutely loaded. So do you want to be in competition with those guys? And then there's the idea that quarterbacks, it feels like once you are on the radar, everyone will do their best to pick you apart. It's rare. It's very, very rare that a quarterback comes onto the scene like Dante Moore, and if he decides to go back to school, we continue to elevate him. I mean, even think Caleb Williams wins the Heisman that first year at USC, his sophomore year. Junior year, he still has a great year. What do? We pick him apart. We tear him up. So there's almost, I think, some evaluation fatigue that happens that Dante Moore would have to go through. Now, NFL teams might not do that, but I would think in the media, if you come back and you're anointed as the guy, it could be a long long regular season and college football playoffs for him, just because you're getting picked apart so much more once there's this perception of you as the number one pick or a top 5 quarterback.
How much do you think the college football playoffs factors into the equation here for these guys? Like, can their stock go through the roof by playing really well? Are these few games that important to their stock?
I think they are, because you want best versus best. Now, last week against James Madison doesn't count, but I do think moving forward, once we get into the games, when you're playing in Alabama or Texas Tech, those games matter. And I always tell people, if they push back against this, let's remember, C.J. Stroud a couple of years ago, Ohio State, they get into the playoffs and everyone says, C.J. can't run. He's afraid to run, won't do it. Well, against Georgia, he ran and got out there and showed the type of player he is, and it helped his stock. It elevated him quite a bit. So I do think that these games matter. They're resume games, because you are facing the best teams in the country. You're facing, defensive coordinators who are the best at what they do. You're facing other high-round NFL draft prospects. So I don't know that one great playoff game would undo a bad regular season for a player, but it absolutely gives you that opportunity to make a statement. And listen, we are all human. We're all, we get excited. We have biases. I think as a college football player right now, the NFL is we know basically who's in and who's out. So these teams at the top of the draft order, the New York Giants are thinking about the NFL draft right now. They're not thinking about how to get a win this weekend. So, same with the Jets, same with the whoever else is up there right now, the Browns, the Titans. So I do think you have an opportunity to, have someone fall in love with you this time of year, because where the schedule is at and how most NFL teams that are going to be picking at the top, they've moved on to the offseason by now.
Busy season for Matt Miller, going to be kicking into hyperdrive here over the next few weeks and months. Appreciate a couple of minutes here this morning, my friend. Happy holidays to you and your family, and we'll catch up again real soon.
Sounds great, guys. Thank you.
All right,
appreciate you, Matt.
Matt Miller, ESPN draft analyst, and that was the NFL Draft Report with Matt Miller, brought to you by the Parisman Firm. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call the Parisman Firm now. It's 718-WORKERS and get the justice you deserve. The Parisman Firm, where your case is their cause. See, if you choked to death on the melon juice there, we might have to call the Parisman Firm to get a little bit of relief. Things got a little sidetracked.
Could have helped you out.
A little bit.
You could have profited off my
demise?
Travesty.
Oh, God, we don't want that. Stuff you missed. 3 stars. A lot more to do here with 60 more minutes to play and then some. Oh, by the way, Mets made a trade, too, as the roster looks less and less familiar.
Rebuild?
How about? No, you're not rebuilding. Dan and Jordan, in for DNR, ESPN New York.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomins.com.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
Listen up, football. Ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Discover a driving experience crafted to inspire. At Garden City Mazda, exceptional design and sophisticated performance come together. During the Mazda More to Move You sales event, lease the 2025 Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month for 33 months. Or the 2025 Mazda CX-50 for $239 a month for 33 months. Both with $49.95 due at signing. It's the Mazda More to Move You sales event at Garden City Mazda. At Garden City Mazda, expect the exceptional.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Eight 800-919-3776. Graca and Jordan in for DNR on this Christmas Eve. Ray, very festive with the music this morning. Like it. So that was interesting from Matt Miller. Good stuff from him. And I asked him the question, and he said Fernando Mendoza, in his mind, is a more highly regarded prospect than, let's say, Jaxson Dart would be if they were in the same draft class.
Yeah, which doesn't completely surprise me because Jaxson Dart was the 25th was the 25th player taken in the draft. The only thing that has changed now is you will have a little certainty of what you're getting in the NFL, where it's Mendoza comes with the risk. So, which do you value more?
Brian Dable wouldn't think that.
No, I don't think Brian Dable, I think, would value the athleticism and mobility of Jaxson Dart.
And like other things as well, but
to each their own.
Right.
No, but I mean that part of it is what kind of
the
separates.
Josh Allen
That's the big
aspect.
separator of the two. Yeah.
Look, a lot remains to be seen. Now, look, I was talking to Bob over the weekend at the game with Schusen, and Bob just called Dante Moore in Oregon the night before, right? Mm-hmm. He was telling me, forget about the football part of it, the off the field, like very impressive young man. Dante Moore, like very impressive. And Louis Riddick was even like tweeting something very similar as well. Checks all the boxes. So if Dante Moore decides to enter the draft, when he sits down with personnel people from all these teams and so on and so forth, coaches, GM, like they're going to like buy in completely. Like he's got that part figured out. You know, physically, he looks the part. So it will be intriguing, like really and truly. Like if he decides to enter the draft, it could be fun with these guys, and we're going to spend the next 4 months comparing and contrasting Mendoza, Moore, Mendoza.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear Matt say, like, they're not far off from each other. This idea that if Dante Moore does go in the draft and does play well down the stretch here, that Fernando Mendoza is the lock number one pick, the first quarterback taken, it didn't sound like that would be the case here.
And I wonder, like I said, if they're not all that dissimilar, if you do have two guys at the top of this draft, is that going to maybe bring down the price a little bit then for what the number one pick would fetch? Like, remember we were talking about the 3 number one picks and so on and so forth, because the team might be like, all right, well, guess what? I don't have to move all the way up to 1. I can move up to 2 because there might be teams that like 2 better than 1, like as far as the prospect. Like, I mean, we tend to get a read, like a few weeks before the draft. where, okay, it looks as if this guy's going to go number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, okay, well, I like the other guy. And if I could get up to 2, I'm perfectly content with just taking him.
Right. Could make 2 almost as valuable as 1.
There you go. So
for sure.
We'll see. And it's going to be fun as football fans over these next couple of weeks with the playoff and watching these guys supposedly against the best competition, the highest stakes games. They could do a lot to maybe boost you a little bit. We'll see.
Bottom line, if you're a Giants fan, you root for them to crush it in the college football playoffs. Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza, and even Ty Simpson while we're at it. And the Jets, I don't know if that's necessarily what you want because then it might cost you more to get that guy. But at the same time, you want to know you have that quarterback. You'd rather have options at quarterback, multiple quality options. That favors the Jets, who clearly need a quarterback.
Right. Or unless
where do you stand on the idea of in a perfect world? Because he said next year's draft is
I don't buy into that.
Super strong with the quarterback.
No, because because Jordan, we were told the same thing before the 2025 draft. That this 26 draft was going to be loaded. And now all of a sudden you're telling me that, no, it's not 26, it's going to be 27. No, I'm not into this kicking the can down the road. If you see a guy, you like him, you take him. But all this talk about like, oh, no, don't take the quarterback now. Okay, what are you going to do next year? What are you going to do next year? You're going to go find some retread on another team and then just be, oh, he's going to be our quarterback, or these two guys are going to fight, Jameis Winston and, somebody else they're going to sign? Well, Jameis Winston's going to be on the Giants next year because it was a 2-year deal. But you get my point. Like of that ilk. And see these two guys battle it out for whoever it's going to be and then draft the quarterback in the 5th round and they're going to be the third stringer? Like, no. If you got a chance to get the guy at the top of the draft, you get him. And roll the dice. Now, we can have a different discussion about, do you play him right off the bat week 1? That's completely different. You got to see who you have in-house to be able to mine the store. So,
I mean, but there's also what I told you before, of like there's people who think you should build up the infrastructure around the quarterback. And it's not necessarily, hey, we're putting it off for another year because, just because we want to, but because, hey, we're not ready to support that quarterback yet.
Well, one thing that the Jets do have, at least foundation-wise going into next year, is the offensive line is pretty set. So at least like the quarterback, whoever it might be, is not going to take an absolute beating, you hope.
And a ton of money in free agency. So if you need to go out and sign a receiver, even like Wan'Dale Robinson, might be costly, but you can get a good quality slot receiver to give him another weapon alongside Garrett Wilson.
And build up the defense on the other side of the ball so he's not going to feel like he's got as much pressure on his shoulders having to score, 40 because the defense can't get off the field. So It's going to be interesting for sure. All right, we still got 60 more minutes to play with. We haven't even gotten to the baseball yet. We'll do that with Jeff McNeil moving on from the Mets. We've got stuff you missed. We've got Ray's 3 stars. Graca and Raanan in for DNR on this Christmas Eve on ESPN New York.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same-day or next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SamwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games are the perfect gift for everyone on your list.
Like me, your Aunt Jules. I told you I didn't need a gift this year, but I secretly really want one.
Or me, your neighbor Frank. I hope you didn't forget I'm coming to your holiday party tonight.
Or me. Why does no one ever think of the voiceover guy? Anyway, New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games have more winners and top prizes up to $5,000. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Matt Miller. Who do you think would be the more highly regarded prospect? Would it be Mendoza or would it be Jaxson Dart if they were in the same year?
I think it'd be Mendoza. I'm really encouraged by what Jaxson Dart has done this year. So even if we want to factor in how well he's played as a rookie, the questions on Jaxson coming out last year were how well can he acclimate from that Lane Kiffin offense to the NFL? I do think there are still times where you see that, which is also some of the reason why he's running so much. I would take him as the prospect over Dart.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
I think Dante Moore from Oregon could be the number one pick. He could be the first quarterback drafted.
On ESPN New York. And streaming live on YouTube.
Alrighty, final hour of the show. Christmas Eve. Graca Raanan in for DNR. Here on ESPN New York. 800-919-3776. Good stuff from Matt Miller, who we had on about a half an hour ago on the NFL draft, the quarterback prospects. And, oh, by the way, you're only going to hear about 9 gazillion spots between now and the end of April about quarterbacks and the draft and how these guys are going to be ranked and rated.
This is what happens when your teams stink, right? When you're 5 and, what did you say, 5 and 25?
Yeah, between the two,
this
5 and 25.
This is what happens.
Yep.
Is that draft season comes early. And we're sitting here talking about the number 1 overall pick in the draft, Giants, Raiders. Huge game this week. Huge game. Let's be honest, it is. It matters. If you're a Giant fan, deep down, probably should be rooting for them to lose. Not the players. Players try to win. But as a fan, you sit there on Sunday, you should be rooting for them to lose. It's better for the overall, status of the organization moving forward. No doubt about it. But draft season's here. We're in middle of December.
And we were talking about it during the break. MetLife Stadium, which is of course the home for the Jets and the Giants. Place has been open since 2010 when they cut the ribbon, and unlocked the doors for the first time. They have hosted 2 postseason games in 16 years.
And one of them didn't even involve either of the teams.
Nope.
Super Bowl.
But
Giants in 2010. Oh, 11.
But off the top of
Actually, probably 12,
off the top of my head,
technically.
How about this? So that Super Bowl, there were 2 future Jets head coaches on the sidelines in that game. Isn't that crazy?
Adam Gase.
Yes.
And Aaron Glenn?
No. Who is it, RJ?
Oh, Bob?
Yeah.
Bob, yeah. I forgot about Bob.
You could go back, and when they show like the Super Bowl highlight films every year, like the marathon or whatever, like that particular episode, like the half-hour, thing, at the end of the game, when the Seahawks are celebrating or whatever, and I forgot what Robert Saleh's title was on that team because he was still very young in his coaching career, but you see like Robert Saleh on the field with like the little mini handheld camcorder, like just like filming the whole thing. Like now we would just bust out the phone. Like back then, still had the little Palm or whatever they were called.
Mujika might have been there too. Was he there back at that? That's a while back. Was he like an intern?
No, he might have been still playing. That was, the 2012 season?
Yeah.
Because he had a cup of coffee in the NFL. He was in a camp. I know that. As a wide receiver.
Let's see, 2012. Denver Broncos scouting intern.
He was a scouting intern.
See?
Well, obviously, he didn't have a good day at the office then because things didn't work out. But, now we talk about that because the way these two teams are right now, it's almost like a pipe dream. You're talking about playing in the postseason in the Super Bowl. But
we're talking about the draft.
We're talking about the draft. And you hope that whoever that guy is going to be between now and then that, they are going to unlock football greatness moving forward.
Two very interesting comments there, the sound bites that RJ and Ray just played from Matt Miller.
I'll tell you, that he was a good spot.
Yeah, very good.
That's like, you talk about getting some traction with these comments. Like, Matt's comments are giving you some traction. Those are going to get replayed. They're going to turn those bad boys around.
Fernando Mendoza, better prospect in his eyes than Jaxson Dart. Not totally surprising because Jaxson Dart ended up being as a 25th overall pick, and Fernando Mendoza has a chance to be number 1 overall. And then the other one being that Dante Moore could end up, by the time we're done, might not even be Fernando Mendoza. Could be Oregon's Dante Moore as a number 1 overall pick. Or if you're the Jets, you're GM of the Jets. I'm putting you in charge. Do you look at them as either one of them interests you more than the other?
I think it's still too early in the process. Because, number one, I think that Fernando Mendoza.
What a cop-out.
No, but think about it.
I'm asking you for an answer now.
But Mendoza's going to be in the draft. Moore, I think Moore obviously could do more, pun aside, over the next couple of weeks to boost his stock more than Mendoza. Because I think people look at Mendoza as like the guy. That was so late. That was so late. That was so late. It's almost like it shouldn't even have been played. That's how late it was. But you agree, right? I mean, like
sleeping on the in the holiday season already.
That's right. You know what? We got 2 games tonight.
Picking some new fights over here. It's been a couple hours.
He's got Knicks and Rangers tonight. It's a long, long night for our buddy. You're off tomorrow, right? From here.
Yeah, it was kind of like a requirement, especially with the 2 games tonight. Like, you know what? Sorry.
Yeah. So he doesn't have to wake up at 3. We got the 2 games and be done with it. But no, like if Dante Moore goes out there and leads Oregon, because remember, I mean, last year Oregon came up small in the playoff, and they were the number 1 team going in, if I'm not mistaken. This year, though, Dante Moore, and granted, it wasn't on his shoulders last year, but if they make a deep run and pick off a couple of these teams and make it, let's say, to the championship game, and he plays like lights out, we'll see.
No.
Like, do you remember Michael Penix, his last year? We had the playoff then.
Yes, I know.
With Washington. He played
amazing in the
phenomenal in the semifinals.
Final.
Correct. So it's almost like, and he end up getting taken like 8th or 9th or something like that, which wasn't bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. But remember at the time it was like if Washington had lost that semifinal like classic, was it Texas, right? If I'm not mistaken, they ended up beating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I remember Sark was all. So if they had lost that game, it might have actually boosted him even higher because then by winning and advancing to the next round, and he played awful in the last game.
J.J. McCarthy in Michigan beat them.
Right.
So there you're sitting there and you're looking at it as J.J. McCarthy ended up going ahead of Michael Penix. I'm not sure that was the specific reason, but
isn't it funny how little things like that, it's so arbitrary, where you're looking at a guy and because he plays poorly in the game that his team lost and nobody on his team ended up playing any good, like he takes a couple of steps backwards to whereas if his team lost the previous game, he would have looked at maybe as somebody being held in higher regard because he played so well. And you're not going to pin that loss on him. That's why the whole evaluation thing is so hit or miss. It really and truly is.
Also, if you're Dante Moore, it does seem like there's a decent chance he goes back to school. You could still get paid to go back to school. You could put in more time, try to win a national championship if they don't this year. It's a lot easier to go back to school, so that then makes it a much lesser. What are you doing?
What?
Are you taking a picture of your sweatpants?
Yeah. I got a stain on it. Just noticed.
So you're taking a picture of it?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's a bleach stain.
What, are you sending it to your wife and yelling at her?
No, there's no yelling.
Well, it's implied when you send her a picture. You're basically blaming her for bleaching your sweatpants.
It's an unfortunate circumstance is what it is. And unfortunately, these are nice pants. They're kind of pricey, and now all of a sudden they're bleached.
So this is your...
Are those Lululemons? Are you texting her about Lululemons right now?
Yeah.
Sorry, this happened to you.
This is his way of showing he's upset that she ruined his Lululemon.
No, she didn't do
pants.
it, but you know what it is? No, because this happens. It's a result of our freaking crappy ass washing machine, which I'm at wit's end over, and this happens unfortunately sometimes, and unfortunately it just struck again.
Might be time to stop using bleach.
What are you going to use, borax?
I don't know.
That's a throwback for you. So yes, pick me out of my doldrums now, please. What were we talking about?
He's very upset.
I'm perplexed.
Do you want to see the stain?
I'm okay. I don't need to see it.
It's right around like the ankles. Anyway.
It's kind of
what?
Bad guy move to send it to your wife. It's like saying, hey,
it hasn't been sent.
It's like saying, look what you did, but that's the intention there for you.
No, it's because
why else are you taking a random, you're sitting there taking a picture. By the way, let me just tell you, Dan's sitting in a chair.
People could see.
He basically, it's hard, they can't see your legs. So he's like pulling up his legs so it's like crossed on his lap.
No, that's how I'm
and
sitting,
taking
period.
a picture of his it's really like the bottom of the sweatpants of right above the sneakers.
But unfortunately, this machine's an equal opportunity offender.
What do you mean?
Like both people's clothes have been sacrificed because of the issue. Might be time to punt. That's what I'm saying. You know, punt down the road. But back to Moore for a second. He might go back to school. And I know that Oregon has more money than God. I get it. But you never know. College sports is so crazy. Who's to say he doesn't come back to school and he's at another school next year? That's the crazy landscape of college football.
Or you come back to school and you actually hurt your stock. I mean, you can look at it. There's a lot of guys
God
this year.
forbid get hurt.
I mean, look what happened to Sellers at South Carolina. He was considered a big guy coming in. Arch Manning hurt his stock, didn't play that well. Nussmeier at LSU was considered a big prospect. Have you heard about him in forever? You even hear his name in the draft anymore?
No.
So there's a big time risk if these guys do come back.
And that's why
probably strike while it's hot.
When you ask me about 2027, no, that doesn't interest me at all. And
I was just asking.
No, but I mean that's the example because this time before the last draft, all we heard about was 26, and now 26 is just you got one guy. Do we have two? Because if Dante Moore doesn't enter this draft, who's going to be the next quarterback taken? Does another one even go in the first round? Right? There's a chance. Last year we had two guys go in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Or this year we had two guys.
That's the other thing. He said he liked Mendoza over Dart. We also have to remember last year's quarterback prospects as a whole were not considered great quarterback prospects. It was considered to be a pretty much down quarterback year in comparison to some of the – I said that very weirdly. In comparison to some years in the past, the big quarterback years, 2018, the Trevor Lawrence year, I believe, was big. Was he?
That was 2020, yeah.
2020.
That was when you had Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones.
Turned into not very good, but it was considered, which maybe goes to show you that it doesn't really matter.
Zach Wilson thing is just
2018. The best quarterback is, I guess, it's Josh Allen, but also Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and Lamar was the fifth guy.
And by the way, Josh Allen was third, ninth.
Right, he was the third quarterback.
He wasn't barely a top 10 pick.
Yep. 800-919-3776. We'll get some calls in here before we go to RJ with the stuff you missed. Here's Dave in the car. He is up next. David, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Happy holidays, guys.
Same to you, Dave.
I got a question. Thank you. I got a question for you. In my opinion, I think the Giants, because of some leadership issues that are far off the sidelines with one of their I guess family members or owners are ailing. I think they have a tougher task than the Jets, but it seems like for both teams to have such a good position in the draft, to bring in some talent that could alter their direction, it seems like both teams are the two most ill-prepared to actually take on that responsibility. Like, I don't have confidence in either organization. I don't have confidence in Glenn, who's on the sideline, and I don't have confidence in the Giants because they don't really have anyone on the sideline. Isn't that the vibe you're picking up?
So is this more about...
How can you get excited about something?
But, Dave, is it more about coaching or is it more about building a roster? Because the Giants, let's face it, next year the Giants are going to have a new coach and a new GM. The Jets, this current regime, this is only their first year. They've gutted the roster. They've acquired all these assets in terms of draft choices, cap space. The in-season trades they made have looked like they've panned out pretty well. You don't have any faith in them to see if they can go out there and bring in talent to help turn this around.
That's the challenge, man. Everything that I hate to say it, everything that Glenn said he was going to do this year, running offense, looking for big guys on the defensive line, hiring a defensive coordinator, which he ends up dumping. Everything he said he was going to do, in addition to having an attitude for the first part of the season, I mean, this guy came in and didn't execute on anything.
Well, he did fire the defensive coordinator, and that was big. And moving on from that, Dave, and thanks a lot for the phone call because...
When that's your best move, though, Dan. I mean, when that's the move you're using, it's like his positive. No, but it's not exactly encouraging.
But to me, seriously, that shows some growth as being a head coach because all year long, and the defense has been much maligned, and he was asked about it constantly, he stood by him. And he kept referencing, that's what Dan Campbell did to me my first year when I was the coordinator, blah, 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 blah. And then ultimately he realized, you know what? But I'm the head coach, and I'm not going down with the sinking ship being this defense. And, oh, by the way, what he doesn't mention is if you go back to that Detroit rough start for that program under Dan Campbell did fire one of the coordinators. Remember, the original offensive coordinator was Anthony Lynn. And he moved on from Anthony Lynn after the first year, realizing it wasn't going to work, and he promoted a gentleman by the name of Ben Johnson. And then you saw what happened here. So we'll see what the Jets do defensively.
Well, that is a positive. It's a positive erasing the negative that he hired the wrong guy already.
Right, he hired the wrong guy.
Obviously, he had to fire him before the season's over. So he hired the wrong guy, and the team hasn't been trending in the direction I think that he would have hoped overall, and the fan base wanted to see this season. And from the Giant perspective, you just hope you hold your hope is that, hey, they're going to bring in a new coach. Joe Shane's seat is getting hotter and hotter. Like, you have hope that whatever the new regime is, whether it be with or without Joe Shane, whether it's with him working with someone else or it's a whole new regime altogether, that they then point you in the right direction.
Right. And look, I understand it's a leap of faith. And New York football fans, I don't care what fan of team you are, Jets, Giants, Jets, a lot has been asked out of you, right? You've been asked to hope, to have faith, to believe. For how many years now? Right? I mean, it's almost like religion. Whatever religion or faith you subscribe to. That's what it's like being a football fan in this town.
Yes, man.
You have to believe. Here's the commandments. Here's the credo. This is what you believe. This is what you do. That's what it's been like to be a New York football fan. Right? And I know that some people are probably tired of it. You're like, when is this actually going to turn? Will it turn?
Yeah.
And your patience is being tested.
We don't really care what it is. Just get it right for once. Finally get it right. This is ridiculous. It's how many years? I mean, since 2012, these teams have been consistently bad.
I mean, there's no other way to sugarcoat it. None. But, for the umpteenth time, you got to almost hope that just better days are ahead. Right? It's as simple as that.
Since 2012, the Giants are the 29th ranked team. Jets are the 30th. Only the Browns and Jaguars have been less successful.
There was a statistic like
227.
Last week we were talking about it. I forgot what it was. Sorry. It was like if you go back to the start of 2016 or 2019, whatever it is, Jets are the worst team. If you do from 2020 on, it's the Giants. And basically it's like the Jets and Giants just flip-flopping.
Yeah. The most recent is now since the start of 2023, the Giants are the worst team.
Well, yeah. I mean, how many wins is that?
Well, they needed Tennessee to win this week to make that happen. But
And Tennessee got down to the third-string quarterback of the Chiefs, and
the
they
Jets
made it
aren't
happen.
far behind either, by the way.
No, the Jets,
15 wins in 3 years.
the Jets are playing a third-string quarterback, too. All right. RJ, how's things, my friend?
Oh, just Andy.
You getting ready for your big trip up north or what?
Oh, yeah, up to see Santa Claus.
RJ's got a big Christmas Eve flight. That could be dicey sometimes.
Can go a lot. Do you think people fly earlier this year? Like just start it like yesterday, today, like just get a head start? Like why?
Well, I think if he can. I mean, if he could, he fly as early before Christmas or a major holiday.
I mean, the kids are barely having school. I think they had my kids had a full day yesterday, a half day today, and then no school tomorrow. So like, why wait? Why even wait? Just don't even send them today or yesterday.
Well, was this
take the whole week?
Was this a flight availability thing, RJ? Like as far as like today or yesterday, or I mean, like tomorrow versus today flying?
Yeah, getting out today was going to be a little tough. And listen, I saw the schedule roll out. Added bonus, good to hang out with you guys. So, no hurry.
That's the friend question coming.
Is he
back
trying
into
to make
play.
up? Is he trying to make up for being a bad friend?
A little bit. I mean, it was a CMT question for crying out loud. You know, I mean, it's the subject of a question. But let's do a little sim. What do you think?
Walk up three-pointer. He got it. See ya. Score! Put it in the box.
The you missed.
Oh, that's right. Well, I don't know if you missed it, but if you did, I'm here to tell you about it. Niners played football last night. They won. Sorry, Phillip Rivers.
They covered, more importantly. Yes.
What was the line?
5.5.
So, more interesting perhaps for this platform, other than Brock Purdy throwing a career-high 5 touchdowns. First time Niners quarterback has thrown 5 touchdowns since Steve Young in the Super Bowl.
That's
with the Chargers.
insane. I didn't realize it's been that long since a Niner quarterback threw 5 touchdowns.
By the way, real quick, because the Niners come up, you know what I watched on the flights to and from New Orleans?
What'd you watch?
The first 3 episodes of your Cowboys documentary.
I watched that recently.
Niners were featured very heavily
Yes,
in there.
and that's why it reminded me. And RJ, it's very good.
Charles Haley.
That's episode 3.
I actually just watched. I started watching it late summer, and then football really begins in college football, and then like hockey, and then the Knicks, and I just can't handle it anymore. So I had to slowly come back around as the buys were really like settling in, and I just finished it recently. It's very good.
They do a good job with that. All jokes aside, with the Cowboys and Jerry, like it's very well done.
It's like you guys told me. Did you guys know Mighty Ducks came out? It was a movie. That's how late you are with this. You guys are like.
I saw it the week it came out. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying these guys. This was a conversation for like
a conversation
6 months ago.
It's now going to be officially 30 years of no success on the field, but yeah, nobody markets like Jerry and the Cowboys.
It was very well done.
It's great. Everything's fine. Everything's totally fine.
You almost made the playoffs this year.
Almost.
Tell you what, Jordan's not afraid to just come in and just start just slinging arrows, but.
Because Jordan pulls over to the side of the road if a new show drops and he wants to watch it on the shoulder like he does with other things pulling over.
If he can find his car.
Yeah, if he can find his car.
But
you guys are being mean to me this hour.
Niners control their own destiny, which is exciting.
It's unbelievable that you could be the 1 seed.
Really could be. I mean, listen, there's issues. They did last night, but they really can't run the ball well. And that defense being duct taped together.
ABP.
They got issues.
Anybody but Philly.
11 wins. It's what the Giants have in 3 seasons. It's RJ. Hey, got issues.
But you know what's amazing?
They're really not so great.
I haven't followed like the rehab trail of Fred Warner, but he's sitting here telling me like if they go deep in the playoffs, Fred Warner can come back. I thought his leg was like bent the other way.
That seems like Aaron Rodgers coming back.
His leg was literally pointing in the other direction.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing this.
Listen, all I'm saying, it's not an official report by any means. All I'm saying is the way he's rehabbing, the way he's talking, I'm not totally ready to take it off the table.
You're like breaking news here for crying out loud.
Hey, RJ, remember Aaron Rodgers said he was going to come back from the Achilles?
Listen, and he said if they were more competitive, he would have.
Okay.
Listen. Don't underestimate Fred.
Imagine like that was the high point.
Just let him
is
have
he going to come back? Like that's what you have to look forward to in December.
But in our show picks, we have 15 picks remaining. So there's a week. What are we at? 17, 18, wildcard weekend, divisional, championship, and Super Bowl.
I had some very bad weeks there, and Dave is somehow within striking distance of me. I don't like it.
Dave is 3 games back of Ray.
I don't like this.
And if Dave loses, he will become, historically, a 3-time defending back-to-back-to-back loser of the picks.
Is there a way that you can play defense? You know what I mean?
Oh, he'd be very angry. If
I know
I
he'd be very angry, but so what? You
Just
know,
pick
I'd say
all the same games.
Yeah, that's what I mean by playing defense. So, like, you know what? He should have did better in the first 15 weeks. That would be my response to
Well, who won this week, RJ? Is it? Did we all finish 2-1?
I went 3-0.
Oh, so you won. So it's up to RJ.
So the way we do it is whoever had the best week controls destiny. So if we really wanted to mess with Dave, unless he controls the board, we could have him pick after. We could have him pick before Ray, and if Ray wanted to match it, you could play four corners. But we'll see how it plays out.
And you need to sell that as like nobody knows less football than Dave. You know?
Josh Allen, he is day-to-day with that right foot injury. Some suspensions to tell you about. DK Metcalf, he got 2 games for that punch he threw at a fan.
Can't punch fans.
No, you can't do that.
Don't fight the fence.
Denzel Perryman of the Chargers suspended the last 2 games of the regular season for repeated unsportsmanlike conduct. Dan loves this. Chiefs, new stadium, going from Missouri to Kansas in a dome.
Remember when they built all the stadiums in the 80s and they all looked the same?
Cookie cutters.
The cookie cutters. Like we're back to that with all these dome stadiums with the glass roof. They all look the same now.
Well, those ones from the 70s, the dual stadiums, like remember,
Right,
like
the dual
Riverfront,
use, right.
Three
Riverfront,
Rivers, Veterans.
the Vet.
They were all like the same, like giant cereal bowls on a slab of concrete.
It's college football news. Ryan Day going to plays for the Buckeyes. They play Miami in the college football playoff. That's because Brian Hartline, who's still on the staff, he's the offensive coordinator.
Florida.
And he's called plays all season. He is balancing his responsibilities. He's the next head coach of South Florida. He's already been introduced.
I remember Brian Hartline.
Ohio State.
Brian Hartline is a gigantic loss for them. Called plays, huge
very
recruiter.
well
How many friggin' of his wide receivers are first round picks in the
all
NFL?
of them. And not forget that. They're all awesome in the NFL.
And he's basically their top recruiter.
Except for Marvin Harrison.
Oh, no.
Ironic.
Well,
But I was told he was so big and strong in the offseason, and he was turning into the Incredible Hulk.
Don't mention that name in RJ's presence. You'll upset him.
I'm not ready to give up yet. North Carolina, University of, that is, working towards hiring Bobby Petrino as their offensive coordinator. You remember
Bobby Petrino Jr. was like the interim head coach of one of these teams in a bowl game recently. I think he might have been the one at the Star.
At the Star?
Yeah.
With the obstructed views?
With the obstructed views.
Not the Pop-Tart Bowl?
No, I will not have you sit here and shame the Pop-Tart Bowl.
It looks like
I like the Pop-Tart Bowl. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Our annual ritual sacrifice.
It's the only one I remember. And the mayonnaise one.
They dump mayonnaise.
By the way, there's another game at the Star tonight.
A bowl game or
the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Well, the Frisco Bowl, sure.
The Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas.
Jerry's making
big on
money.
the Frisco Bowl.
Jerry's big.
You remember the name Nico Iamaleava? He's the one that left Tennessee for UCLA. He's going to stay there at UCLA.
Nico, I'm leaving.
Yeah, it didn't go well for him last year. Notre Dame football, they put their series with USC on pause. So now they will agree to play BYU in a home-and-home series beginning next year.
Kind of sucks.
It does.
That's tradition.
Yeah, you want those traditional.
You wouldn't have the
Tradition is
push play without
I remember that well.
Tradition is dead.
So wait, we're going to stop playing Ohio State, Michigan?
Yeah,
But no,
just
they're in the
wait.
same conference.
Just wait.
Joey got to do this in
Can't
conferences.
stop.
Just
We can't
wait.
stop those. I mean, come on.
AJ DeBanta, he goes to BYU while we're talking about them. Went for 33, 10, and 10. Triple-double leads BYU. Ranked number 10, by the way, over Eastern Washington. And number 1, Arizona. They won their 7th straight game by 20-plus points. They're still top dog. Number 1 in the AP poll. Michigan, though, very good team. Getting closer. They are number 2. See what happened last night between Steve Kerr and Draymond Green?
I heard about it.
Yeah, they had a heated exchange in the third quarter. So it was a dead ball, and they were going at it during a timeout. And Draymond leaves the bench. He was not on the bench, did not play in the final 20 minutes. I mean, it was a blowout win over the Magic. A nice win, actually, for them, 120-97, but he was not around. So they got that to sort out. Colin Knippel is the fastest player in NBA history to make 100 threes in his NBA career. Did it in 29 games. Hornets lose to the Cavs. And Luka Doncic, he has a calf strain. He is considered day-to-day. And that is the stuff you missed.
Is his Christmas Day availability in jeopardy?
In jeopardy, yes. In jeopardy, yes. Not ruled out by any means, but definitely in jeopardy.
Because think about this. And, RJ, thank you for the stuff you missed. That was stupendous, as it always is. But look at the NFL Christmas Day slate of games this year. From what we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the season to what it actually is, it is bad. I'm not mincing more. It's bad. Dallas, Washington. Okay, if you like nostalgia, great. But what is that game?
No, what do you mean? That's a terrible game. And there's no way you could even sell it to me. Nostalgia.
Detroit, Minnesota. Okay, Detroit has a pulse. Minnesota's trying to finish 500. Okay, great.
I could sit down and watch that game at least.
Because it's much better than Dallas, Washington. And then Denver, Kansas City. Who's going to be starting a quarterback for Kansas City this week? What's the dude's name?
Bad.
The third stringer?
We talked about this yesterday.
Oludekin or whatever his name is?
Oladokun.
Oladokun?
Oladokun.
Where's he from again?
Somewhere.
South Dakota State.
Like South Dakota? Yeah.
No, not
It
South
gets cold
Dakota.
there.
South Dakota State.
Sorry, South Dakota
It
State.
gets cold there. And then
Don't
Denver.
disparage the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, Chris Olatakun.
Isaiah Davis. Or is that North Dakota State? Isaiah Davis,
now,
North or South
I'm all
Dakota
over the
State?
place. Trey Lance and
Isaiah-
Carson Wentz are North Dakota. North Dakota State.
Isaiah
rather.
Davis is South Dakota.
There you go. But not state.
Is state.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Okay. It's all over the
Congrats.
place.
There you go.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
that's your
it's
that's your
confusing me.
Christmas Day NFL slate of games. It's not very good.
No, not at all.
It's not very. But you know what? Hey,
You'll still have it on.
of course I will.
Still have it on, even if it's in the background.
But
Still have it on.
if you do have to travel on Christmas, like make your plans. You could be out and about in the car during the 1 o'clock window.
Ray, what's your interest level? Cowboys,
He'll watch.
Commanders.
He'll watch.
1 to 10, Christmas Day.
Well, I'm going to be at the Garden
1
thankfully,
p.m.
for a lot of that
right.
because
I
the Knicks play the
forgot.
Cavs. So we'll have that. If I get out of time, I'll look at the score momentarily. Listen, my interest level during Cowboys Chargers was low. Like I had it on, but it was like background noise.
Giving up on his team.
Well, I mean, the league is giving up on them.
The season's over.
The standings gave up on him.
Matt Eberflus gave up on them.
Mm. Sounds like a distraught fan over there.
It's not a good place. I'm not in a good place.
I mean,
Wasted another year of the quarterback's prime.
It's the holidays.
It's
Cheer
the
up,
holiday.
Ray.
Listen, the
They're
Cowboys
making a lot of money. They had a good
the Cowboys are very generous.
Netflix documentary.
The Cowboys are very generous to opposing quarterbacks. Jaxson Dart's going to have a career day in Week 18. It's going to be great.
Oh, Dave's going to lose his mind. That actually would be a good stick it to Dave moment. Giants lose to the Raiders. In line for the last for the first
you finally
pick,
beat the Cowboys,
and then they go and beat the
They'll
Cowboys in
finally
Week
beat the
18.
Cowboys. Hey,
Cowboys sticking it to them.
Congratulations to you.
We're murdering the clock, and this has nothing to do with melon juice. Let's take a quick break. 800-919-3776. When we come back, we'll finally talk baseball. Mets trade. The dismantling continues. It's Graca and Raanan in for DNR, ESPN New York. 9:33 on this Tuesday morning. Let's get a check of the roads and say good morning to Debbie Duhame.
Good morning, Graca and Raanan. Good morning, company. Happy holidays. Hey, take it slowly because of the bad weather. Can't sugarcoat this. Lots of problems this morning. Watch for delays as you head over to 84 East Exit 4 in Greenville. It's an accident. Over on 6 East at 293 in Woodbury, a crash. 9 North at St. Andrews Road in Hyde Park. It's another accident. First Ave at 100th. Garbage truck into scaffolding. Sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance. Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA and national nonprofit offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org. I'm Debbie Duhame on 880 ESPN New York.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE. Back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, law, bite back?
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms.
21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomins.com.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
All right, Dan and Jordan here, in for DNR on ESPN New York. 800-919-3776, the telephone number. We haven't talked any baseball yet. So here's the Mets offseason, if you're keeping score. Brandon Nimmo, Edwin Diaz, Pete Alonso, now Jeff McNeil, gone. No more Mets. Now, what it tells me, at least in a couple of those cases, that maybe everything, the smoke that we were hearing about, the clubhouse issues, the chemistry issues, maybe there was a little bit of, where there's smoke, there's fire, based on some of these decisions that David Stearns and company have made.
Oh, you think? They spent 3 years trying to downplay that.
But don't you think now that's a thing?
I mean, when there's smoke, there usually is fire. It's not just made up.
Here's the thing about the Mets. Here's the thing about the Mets. And look, I understand from a popularity standpoint and a fan standpoint. You look at the team and you say to yourself, well, these were popular players. They've been together a long time. Granted. But if you look at it from the front office's point of view, you ask yourself the question, what did they win? Right? What did that group ever win in these 6 years or 7 years that they were together? Nothing. And last year was a monumental disappointment. I mean, if I would have told you this time last year, when you saw the Met roster and the lineup and everything that they had, just signing Soto, all that stuff, I said, oh, hey, by the way, the Mets are going to start off 45-24? Well, yeah, that's not shocking. 20 games over 500, they should. They're a good team. Yeah, and they're not going to make the playoffs. How do you justify that? In a sport, baseball, where everybody makes the playoffs. Everybody does.
Yeah.
And they weren't even good enough to get in the playoffs. So I understand that on paper right now, that Met roster does not look even as good as the underachieving version that ended last season, but we still got a lot of offseason to go, and there is work to be done. We know that.
See, I think we're on different sides of this. When Steve Cohen took over, the move was to rebuild then, right?
Right.
Because they didn't have the prospects. They didn't have the pitching staff. They weren't going to have the depth to be able to fill the spots that ultimately they didn't. They tried to fill it by getting 40-year-old pitchers and ended up being doomed, right? It's hard to win that way. He tried to buy it. Not that simple. He didn't have David Stearns there at the time, right? David Stearns comes in. These aren't his guys. They've rebuilt the farm system. So to me, this is the retooling that should have been done when Steve Cohen originally took over. And you expect a bunch of big moves coming up, some sort of big moves, and then trying to compete this year. To me, this is them retooling. Yes, they're going to try and compete this year, but the goal, and if this is what David Stearns is doing, it's a right move to me. You have the young pitchers. You're going to have to see them develop in order to be a real contender, right?
Right.
We're talking about McClain, Tong, Sproat. You hope two of them, maybe two of the three guys, become real high-end pitchers for you. That's their Mets' path to really being a serious World Series contender. Not, hey, look, they put it together. They surprised everyone. They had these, their pitching staff pitched great, but none of them are really great pitchers. We're putting our hopes in Sean Manaea to be our ace.
Well,
which was what it was 2 years ago.
If those guys are even still on the team, because if they go make a trade, that's who everybody's going to be asking for. I don't think McClain's an untouchable.
I think he's retooling and doing it the right way. Okay, we'll add the big pieces, the Juan Soto's, a piece here or there, but at the same time, we're going to have to do it on the timeline of some of these guys becoming significant players. Look at the 2000 Yankees. That's what they did, right? The 98 Yankees, the 2000 dynasty.
Well, here's the thing. Do the Mets have a core? Do they have a championship core right now?
No. They do not.
Okay, so like the Yankees, though, they had a championship core. Those young homegrown players. Like, who were those guys for the Mets?
Well, they're hoping to build them. They're hoping Vientos, Beatty, McClain, Carson Benj, who's we haven't seen yet, Jet Williams, Jonah Tong, Brandon Sproat. That some of those guys, now obviously it's baseball, they won't work out. Right, a bunch of them won't work out. That's just the way baseball goes.
Right,
but if you have 3 or 4 of them work out, that's what you want. 3 or 4 of those guys to be significant contributors, and then you can build it around them. Right, you still have Lindor. You added Juan Soto. I'm sure they're going to add some sort of pitcher at some point this offseason. So that to me is the way I think. Because David Stearns, whatever you want to say about him, is I believe he's pretty smart. Is doing, and he realizes their window's not now, it's a year or two from now.
See, I don't know about that. I thought their window was, they felt their window was, I mean, they were coming off a trip to the NLCS 2 years ago. They went into last year thinking we could win this thing. The Dodgers were standing in their way, but they...
With what pitching?
But they didn't expect Sean Manaea to miss almost the entire season last year. They didn't expect, who else was friggin' hurt? Senga. To be as ineffective as he was and just disappear for spurts. I mean, don't even get me started on that.
These are temporary fixes. Those aren't like long-term answers. Sean Manaea was never a long-term answer as your ace or number 2. It was like, wow, he pitched really well. Even we didn't expect that.
Well, remember, they re-signed him, though. They re-signed him to a multi-year deal thinking, okay, this is a guy that we think we fixed. Remember the pitching lab?
What was multi-year?
Wasn't he to get a 3-year deal? I thought he got like a 3 or 4 year deal.
I thought it was like 2 or 3 years.
Well, I mean, even if you get 3 years, that's still pretty good, isn't it?
But that's pretty short. I think that's knowing, hey, we'll see. Well, hopefully we can get a repeat of that, but it's still.
Well, no, who
knows?
That's the stubbornness of the whole sort of pitching lab that they had there, and they thought that they could fix everybody because it worked with Severino, it worked for Manaea. Yeah, it was a 3-year deal for $25 million a pop.
Well, you hope that he learned from that, and that wasn't the way to go about it because obviously. Last year was a disaster.
The Juan Soto thing, David Stearns didn't want to do that. That was a Steve Cohen thing. Steve Cohen got that deal done.
Right. I mean, he wanted Juan Soto, and he was going to do it at all costs.
Right. He didn't want to give a guy 15 years.
But he also, here's what you do with this the minute he came, basically. It's been out there. He never wanted Pete Alonso. No. That's what you saw again. I mean, you read it again. Alonso said he never got an offer from the Mets. Like, yeah, he didn't want Alonso last year, David Stearns. That was the reality of the situation. The way it unfolded, he ended up coming back, but he never really wanted to bring Pete Alonso back originally at like a full, give him a real deal. And you hear even when Pete signs with the Orioles, you hear him talking like they really wanted me. Yeah, because he realized the Mets didn't want him when David Stearns got there.
And let's be real, there would have been more teams like the Baltimore Orioles.
Long term, at least. That's what I'm talking
last offseason if Pete Alonso didn't have the qualifying offer attached to him. And that's what scared some teams off because teams don't like parting ways with draft capital. But this year there was no qualifying offer, which made a team like Baltimore go.
But you think they're going to make a big move here?
I do. I still think they're making a move. Here was Pete, by the way. You brought it up. Foul Territory. Good little baseball podcast there. When did you realize that you were going to leave the Mets?
like when it came down to like the true negotiating point, and it's like, all right, it's just not going to happen. And that for me, it's like I gave everything I have, and I always do. I just don't take it personal, because at the end of the day, it's their philosophy, it's their business decision, and I'm in a place where they see me in their future and in their present. So I'm stoked to be there, and I can't wait to win ball games for the Baltimore Orioles.
I think they paid you $150 million.
Pretty clear, though. Like, it couldn't be any more clear that the Mets and David Stearns never had any intention of signing him long term.
Of course not.
Never really wanted to do that.
I mean, it was basically 14 months prior where you kind of knew this is how it was going to play out. Did you know what the Mets' plan was?
It's kind of like a philosophical thing where it's like, hey, that's just what they wanted to do. But if you think on it, like 2025, it just came down to one game. It came down to one game, and there was a ton of guys hurt, where I feel like if they weren't, that would have put us in a better situation, and you can't control injuries. Like, we had a ton of arms that weren't necessarily healthy, and that plagued us. And it was a one game, not in the playoff situation, where I feel like maybe if it was like, I don't know. But again, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because it's not my choice, not my decision.
Well, there you go. I still think there's a lot of, look, you still got some primo free agents who are still out there. I don't know if the Mets are going to spend huge on them. Maybe Bellinger is an option. But you got some big pitchers out there still. You got some big bats out there still. The trade market, I think, still is going to simmer up here a little bit. Still got a lot of offseason.
Sounds like to me that you think like a Scooble move is coming.
No, they're not. Nothing like that.
Not that?
No.
Okay.
I don't think the Tigers are trading him. I think they should, but I think they're actually going to try to make one more run with it. But it doesn't. Like, see, I would be leery of giving up like major prospects for Scooble. Because he's a one-year rental, and you know and I know, he's going to sign with the friggin' Dodgers after next year anyways. You know that. Everybody in baseball knows that. So I don't think it's worth depleting your farm system for, essentially a rental. All right, quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll close it out with you on the phones at 800-919-3776. Talked about a lot of things today. And Ray, of course, has his world-famous 3 stars. He's got a lot to pick from today. It's Dan, it's Jordan, it's DNR here on ESPN New York.
Some stages celebrate. This one tests everything. Every drive, every approach, every putt. Pressure builds. Resilience matters. And history waits for the bold. In June, the 2026 U.S. Open Championship returns to the Hamptons at the iconic Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. Experience the world's best golfers competing on one of the sport's most storied stages. Don't just watch greatness. Experience it live at the 126th U.S. Open. Daily tickets are available now on SeatGeek.
Discover a driving experience crafted to inspire. At Garden City Mazda, exceptional design and sophisticated performance come together during the Mazda More to Move You sales event. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-5 for just $229 a month at Garden City Mazda.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery rankings.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
There's a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-5 2.5S all-wheel drive for $229 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN S077553, MSRP $30,920. Zero security deposit. Ends 1/2/26.
Have you heard the story that's about a guy who lives in a bank that is really close by? The Capital One Cafe is his home, no doubt, where customers bank and get their cash out. There's no fees or minimums on checking accounts, so your money stays. Most Capital One Cafes are open all 7 days. This magical place, as some people might call it, is where the Capital One Bank guy says, "What's in your wallet?" Such a lovely tale.
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Clinton Yates here, and the holidays are upon us, full of gatherings, toasts, and plenty of cheer. And if you're like me, you want every moment to shine. That's why I head to Total Wine & More, where you'll find it all at the lowest prices, from rich whiskeys and smooth tequilas to festive liqueurs and elegant champagnes. And if you're not sure what to grab, their guides will help you find bottles that impress. You'll always find what you love and love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now, ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
All right, game time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 6 p.m., St. John's host Harvard, the Crimson. And at 7 p.m., you got the Rangers in D.C. to take on the Capitals. Pre-game begins at 6:30 over on 1050. The Islanders will host the Devils. The Nets in Philly to play the Sixers. Then 8 p.m., Knicks visit the T-Wolves in Minnesota. Pre-game right here on ESPN 880 at 7:30. That is Game Time brought to you by Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. So you know what happened a couple of minutes ago during the break? I told Jordan, I said, it only dawned on me like 40 minutes too late that I forgot to pay for parking. So I had to pay for parking. Jordan goes, "Oh, yeah, I did that earlier. Yeah, I did that earlier." I said, "So what, no reminder?" That's like part of like
that's bad guy 101.
That's
right
like
there.
co-host
RJ,
code. It's an unwritten law. And he goes,
I've worked with you before?
Yeah.
How many times have you told me to do my parking?
Probably every time.
Never.
Probably every time.
Never.
Probably every
Never.
time. And then he goes like this. "Oh, I don't know. I didn't know how you got here today. If
Nobody's
you drove." I said,
ever
"What did I do?
reminded me.
I
I forget every time I'm here."
He shrugged you off is what he did.
He did a shrug off.
Come on.
So if there's a document waiting
It's
for me on the windshield, I should just forward it to him as a stocking stuffer.
It's not my responsibility to tell you to do the parking. Just like I didn't blame when I got a ticket here one time on you guys.
Well, how'd you get a ticket? What was that for?
I didn't forget to do the parking. I forget every time I come here. No one has ever reminded me.
But you didn't forget today, and you should have at least conveyed, "Hey,
I'm supposed to remind you, but you guys aren't supposed to remind me."
It's a lot of troubling things.
Doesn't
that have
seem
happened
like
today.
fair and equitable treatment around
It's
here.
like we could replay this Cuddle, Marry, Trash game for weeks with all different stuff with Jordan here with the things that he's doing. It's unbelievable. Anyway.
Picking on me.
Let's turn it over to Ray because, boy, he's got a lot to pick from today with the 3 stars.
Today's 3 stars.
And I mean, yeah, that's going to be the theme. Jordan, I got to tell you, you guys were excellent today, but there was a troubling start because you basically threw an accusation out at RJ.
The real question is the money coming out of RJ's pocket.
Well, who else's pocket's coming out of?
Is it coming out of the company?
Yeah, luxurious gift cards RJ gives you. And then so RJ had to come back at you and list all of your transgressions.
So let's cover some ground here. Admissions of driving the wrong way on the turnpike.
Yeah.
Losing your car. Losing your license. Your ID here not working. And accusing me of ripping off the company.
Yeah, you get the picture.
Number 2.
Speaking of pictures.
It's a lot easier to go back to school, so that then makes it a much lesser. What are you doing?
What?
Are you taking a picture of your sweatpants?
Yeah, I got a stain on it.
Dan is taking a picture of his sweatpants. It's a very expensive sweatpants, so I guess I got a bleach stain.
It's weird.
It's a bleach stain.
What are you sending it to your wife and yelling at her?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
I
But
just
guess-
like Jordan's reaction.
guess
He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, Jordan was very freaked out by that. Not as freaked out as well.
It's weird.
Number 1.
We almost lost Jordan.
Whereas when you have Justin Fields with who probably isn't even in that category, and then on top of that,
you all right?
Yeah, I might die here.
Yeah,
I'll pour some water down your throat. You okay?
Those guys have.
No, this is not
deeply
good.
concerned
It's
right
not
now.
good.
It's not good.
Give me your fruit bowl. I will pour water in the fruit bowl. You can drink it out of it.
And then, like, it's the melon juice.
He just drank melon juice out of a fruit plastic container that he couldn't get open 30 minutes ago.
And, but that's not enough. You've got to go out there and run and grab some water for this poor guy.
Nope, we're back.
We're back. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary.
I'm back. The fruit juice has brought me back to life.
And that's where we end today's show.
And I
back to life.
And I left the studio to save him to go get the water, and yet the return I get is a thanks.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
No parking reminder.
No parking.
Parking reminder.
But you know what? The important
In
thing.
retrospect, that might have been a bad move.
The important thing.
The fruit juice has brought me back to life.
That's it right there.
Oh, this was a wild one. It was fun, though. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Ray, RJ, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. We will talk to you again in 2026, but it is Rule 76.
No excuses. Play like a champion. It's Graca, Raanan, and
melon juice. Antonio, bluey music, and
bingo.
Yet it didn't register for him to talk about
bluey.
There are small risks in life, like giving a kid a football to play with in the house.
Whoa,